I got two hands. I got my mouth. I know how to earn money.
She absolutely does. She doesn't miss a trick. Well, a good early morning. Now, I'm normally up early, but when you get surprise visits at 3 o'clock in the morning, earlier, well, unplanned visits, yeah, means you're up. Sometimes I have no idea when somebody's visiting here. It kind of would be nice if they announced it. Okay. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'll wait till a few people show up here. It kind of caught you by surprise. That's why I always, you'll hear silence at the beginning of my show because I don't schedule shows, which probably be the wiser thing to do. So basically, I'll be a little silent in the beginning until a few people show up. It's according to what time it is, whether anybody shows up at all, because I come on at some odd times sometimes here. Yeah. And since I hate repeating myself all the time, and when it comes to what the topic is that I start off with, I'll usually wait till a few people show up. You've been following me for a long time. You know my style. Okay, well, we got three in the house that showed up. Here we go. And I'm just killing time here because I freaking got up about an hour. I don't know how long it's been. No, I don't normally get up at 3 in the morning, my friends. No, I do not. No, 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 no. But her son decided to come over here with his cousin. Her son came over with his cousin, my girlfriend's nephew, pretty much unannounced. I mean, I didn't know about it. So the dogs are barking at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not only that happened, but poor cat. I'll get to that. See the dogs barking out of their mind because, well, her son's coming over from Cebu. Can a man get a good night's sleep? I don't know sometimes. My sleeping habits aren't the best in the world, but I'm just a 6 hour man. I'd be in glory if I got 7 or 8 in. But since I don't induce myself with any horrible drugs, I can't get. In the process, I got up, decided to let the dogs out, and they don't like cats. So, Ginger, she's the older one. And she could be vicious when she wants to be. Not the, with cats. She doesn't like any other animal on the territory. Hey, this is her stomping ground. And she wants to protect her stomping grounds. And boy, she does. Hello, Region. What's up, man? Well, unfortunately, there's a kitten that's hurt bad. Ginger freaking, well, Gilda came back in. He goes, "No, when you let the dogs out?" I said, "Yeah." After John came over, her son. unannounced at 3 in the morning. Well, when you let the dogs out, Ginger went after a cat. I said, oh no, again? Because she killed two small kittens once before. They were right next to each other in the yard. Anyway, I don't see any blood on the cat. Maybe a leg is broke or so. I don't know. Mama cat's aware of it. I actually went to take the cat and put it in a little box to examine it. Of course, putting like a sack on my hand so I don't get scratched. I don't want to go through that again and get scratched. Or it's a very, it's a very, very young kitten, very young, you know, fresh out of the oven, practically. So I seen the mother show up, so I put the kitten back in the other yard through the chicken wire fence, to put it over there again so the mother can examine or, I don't know, grab the cat by the nape of its neck and bring it somewhere. I don't know. A lot of cats will abandon their kittens if they know they're hurt or something. Now, I just can't leave a kitten there, but I don't know what else to do. I'm not a veterinarian, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe the cat is just in shock or it might have hurt one of the back legs. I don't know. But see, I don't know. I kind of blame myself because, I've been feeding these cats for a long time. The good person I am, and sometimes they get pretty brave. They'll lay out in the yard. And, as I said, my dogs are very territorial. Anything that comes to this yard, really human or animal, is more likely going to be met by the older one rather than the younger. But the other one will join. Yeah. They're not no big old dogs or nothing, they're medium-sized dogs, But this is their turf. And they want to protect their turf, which they want to protect us and themselves. They don't like invaders coming in the yard. If it means cats. Oh, I've seen Ginger go after, she killed the chicken once. It was the bird, some of the bird. Anyway, put the cat back out there. And I don't know what to do. As I said, I'd like to see an animal just die, but I blame myself because I started feeding these cats, and it means they're always going to come back, always going to come back. And their sense of smell is amazing. If we're cooking something up, they're already out there meowing. We give it leftover, like, fish remains or chicken bones, stuff like that and all that. I've even given them some kibble, some dog food, which is not really good for cats, but I know you don't want to hear about that. But anyway, that's my evening or morning. Yeah. I don't get enough sleep as it is, and to have to be abruptly awakened at, like a little after 3 o'clock in the morning or so, 3:15. It's not something I like very much. I don't know where I get my energy sometimes. Anyway, as you've been seeing lately, and I want to explain a few things to you guys. Look, I'm not the sheriff in town. I said this in the past. But, just like Ginger going after that cat being in the wrong territory, people like Big Kevin, when they start to invade my territory, my family, my girlfriend, her name, when he's making fun of her being a real asshole, and he's doing the exact same thing that Barry did, coming on his show all the time, and just all he does is a show about me. In other words, he is now the new Barry. Apparently, he wants to take Barry's slot. That's the worst thing he can do. I think you guys know me better by now. Yes, I'm taking it. This morning, I'm actually sending it out. And I'm sending his little rap report. Illegal guns, bootlegging, all kinds of shit like that. Sending it out to Vietnam and Thailand. To the immigration officers out there. I told you, Kevin, I'm too old to fuck around, okay, with this kind of shit. I already went through this with Barry for a couple of years, And now I'm just not, I'm just being lickety split quick. I'm just getting shit done. You know, don't have to go to court, don't have to do this or that. Just, deal where it matters with the immigration office, right? We're all familiar with people with the immigration office, right? And what they like to do. Well, if it works for them, maybe it'll work for me. Yeah. Kevin got pretty quiet after I put that show on, too. Normally he'd put on a show that, there's saying, yeah, God is nothing. It's bullshit. Damn information. This should be on some fucking cartoon or something. That these can't be real characters we're talking about on here. Every one of them has a distinct personality from the others, but they all share the same MO or psychological traits or something, you know, that they do and say stupid things. And they think they're like made of Teflon. I'm not made of Teflon. Oh, no, I'm not. I never said I was made of Teflon. You know, never did. And I'm not made of Teflon. And I really don't pretend to be. Absolutely not. But they're not made of Teflon either. And I've had plenty of practice at this shit too, you know. I've had plenty of practice. I know what to do and how to do it. Plenty of experience. The funny thing is, though, I'm being served by people that equally don't like these people. And these people are the ones that predominantly, really, where I get my information from. And I don't really have to do a whole lot. All of a sudden I get information and I say, oh, whoa, that's like interesting shit, man. And, thank you for it. Nobody is putting me on a payroll for being a deputy sheriff or sheriff in town here, my friend. It's not a job that I want. I'm just only interested in things that concern me. I don't give a shit what anybody does to the other person on here. I really don't. Only when something hits home here. Believe me, I think I'm a pretty normal guy, but I could be fucking psychopathic. Well, psychotic would be the right word. When it comes to people I love, like my girlfriend. Hey, I'm like 70 years old, over 70 years old, man. I don't give a shit what happens to me. But I will defend her honor 24 hours a day. Always. When some sad sack from many, many miles away to the protection of their computer screen starts to involve my girlfriend, that shouldn't be involved at all. And yes, she does. To point out something that was said that, yeah, right, the Gilda don't know what's going on. She don't, oh no, Jay was saying that. The Gilda don't sit and listen to these. She sure does. A couple times we took out some popcorn, Jay. She listens to all of you. Because, remember, she's tied to me like glue. Everywhere I go, she has to be with me. Isn't that what Jay or Kevin said? Thank goodness I got a relationship like that somebody actually cares about me. Yeah, we do spend a lot of time together. Ain't nothing wrong with that. One partner's good enough for me. I don't need multiple partners and create a fucking harem. Why complicate your life like that? Oh, these God-fearing people. They're the ones that do it. It's the God-fearing people. Ain't that something? I told you. Well, I don't want to get into that. You guys having your morning coffee or your evening brew, whatever? I have a few viewers that like to. They know what I usually do a show in the morning, and they're like, speakers on, up all the way, relaxing with a beer or a cup of coffee or whatever. It's the way I like it. So, Kev, Jay, whatever, I know you listen to my show all the time. You don't miss a trick. Can I just suggest something? Take a look at your friend Barry Lee Jordan. Okay? He's a prime example. Well, Barry never thought that he'd ever get arrested by immigration. He swore to it. He never thought that he'd actually have those charges filed on him. That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Well, it did happen. And it took a lot of work. It was not easy. It took planning. Oh, it sure did take planning. But the day they arrested Barry over in Karkar at his girlfriend's house, I was ecstatic. In fact, I think I might have did a little dance or something, if I remember correctly. It was a glorious moment that a scumbag like Barry was arrested. Oh, it wasn't just because I'm this legal eagle. And if you don't pay your immigration fees, that I'm going to be the rat. He calls me the rat. There's several reasons for that. Because I always paid my visa fees and did everything I'm supposed to do. And I have to put out that money. So does he. But it wasn't just that. It's just that the guy was a fucking asshole. And I know what he's done to a lot of people. That's why. Because nobody had the fucking balls to do anything about it. It must have felt amazing for you when Obama got... Oh, it was. The beauty of this thing is... They say, my lawyers, they're good lawyers. My lawyer was so involved in this, really, in the sense of representing me and that he came along. He drove his own personal vehicle. I don't have to pay him nothing. That was voluntary. He drove his own personal pickup truck, brand new pickup truck. Successful man he is. And the immigration agents, they took their van. My little informant drove his own personal vehicle to guide them to Karkar, to exactly where he was staying. Happened to be at his girlfriend's house. His girlfriend, the one who harbored him. And my lawyer actually accompanied them. And no, there was no money put out. See, they had to come because they had to be there prior. They had to be there prior to the day they were going to arrest him. Because they did not want to send anybody out there. And he wasn't going to be there. So what they generally do, tell you how this works, is that they will send investigators over there prior to the day they're going to come over. It's unannounced, of course. Prior. The arrest warrant has already been signed, okay? And what is that called? There's a document that's called it. Anyway, they already had an approved arrest warrant for him. So that when they did come, they knew he was going to be there. That's why they had to have, surveillance. A couple of guys would go out there doing surveillance to make sure he really was there. And they could have posed as a customer at her Sari Sari store. you know, like that. Plain clothes. That's how it happened. Sneaky little guy, ain't I? He didn't know what was coming to him. I remember his words. It's all right, I'm not going to give you a hard time. Let me just go in and grab something and blah, blah, blah. And my lawyer had a smile on his face. I had a smile on my face. Fantastic. Those size 9 sandals on Bummer looks massive on his baby feet. Yeah, that was funny too, I know. And who was it that it was, what do you call that? Put that video on there. Well, the video, and he was laughing himself because it was funny than shit. I mean, it looked like he had diving fins on, you know. Uh, that was funny though. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, a lot of people think they can get away with a lot of shit on here, and some of them, could for a while. But, I'm like the cat that plays with the mouse for a while. Have a little fun with it, knock it around a little bit. Then I go in for the fucking kill. And look, it's only if it involves me. I don't care what anybody does to each other on here. But only if they involve me in something. And they involve my girlfriend or her family. I have no other interests otherwise. Baba said the same word, there's nothing you're going to do. Isn't Popeye said that too? There's nothing you... Oh, no, Jay more recently said that. Jay more recently said that. There's nothing you can fucking do, Frank. You ain't going to do a goddamn thing to me. That's what Jay said. That's what Jay said. Let's see what happens in time. Are we going to make Jay eat those words? Jay's got a checkered past. We just have to let immigration know a little about it. So the next time he tries to come into the Philippines, they might have a hold order on him. Or simply bring him in for questioning. Jay, I don't forget anything you said to me, neither does Gilda. No, we don't. We don't forget easily. Believe me, you don't want to be my target. And that applies to Ricky, too. Ricky said a lot of horrible shit. Remember, Ricky, I go to SNR all the time when I come to Cebu. And you're there on a daily basis. We just might run into each other again. But I don't think it's going to be as friendly as it was the last time. I'm going to give you shit right in that store. I'll make every employee and manager hear what's going on. I'm going to embarrass the living shit out of you. No, I'm not looking to get physical with Ricky. But he's tempted me. The last time I was there, you saw it on video. Told him right then and there. You've been running your mouth about me. I'm right in front of you now. Why shouldn't I fucking cold cock you right now, you motherfucker? And Ricky kind of backed down. It's exactly what he did. Or maybe Ricky figures, this frail little old man, I could stomp on him like a cockroach. Maybe. But you never know. You just never know. It would be quite a scene. I'll tell you that. It would be quite a scene. They're pushing, what it comes down to is they're pushing their luck with me. And they figure they could get away with this and that. Ricky said, he was going to get off YouTube. He's going to get off YouTube. But no, matter of days or so later, he was knocking me, and he continues to knock me. Ricky, you know what? You could only get away with so many things. You've made enemies out there, too, in both countries, Thailand and Philippines. If it ain't me, it's going to be somebody someday that might actually approach you in a way you're just not going to like or expect. You're always talking about people, everybody's channels. A lot of obscure people that I don't really listen to, but he always finds a victim, doesn't he? always finds a victim. But one day, Ricky, it just may not turn out the way you like it to be. I know you feel that you've avoided disaster so far. You know, Mick Fisher could have annihilated you that day when he came to the bar. In fact, the words to me from Mick Fisher was, he goes, I swear, Frank, I seen his face turn color. I thought he was going to have a cardiac arrest. That's what Mick Fisher said to me in so many words, not exact, but pretty close. If Mick's listening, he knows he said that to me. You got lucky. And even Brevis, locked and loaded, good old locked and loaded Brevis, always saying something. If he was that tough, he wasn't going to do anything to Mick Fisher. Mick Fisher's a big guy, period. And look, by the way, I don't claim, for the record, I could kick anybody's ass. That would be a ridiculous statement to say that. I'm not the younger man I used to be. And even so, it would be very hard, quite honestly, to fight off somebody that's got 150 pounds on you or something, And some that have muscle. Look, I'm realistic, but that doesn't mean that I would back down. I mean, a man's got to protect himself, right? I don't care if you have to scratch her out like a bitch, have to scratch a guy's eyes out or something. Don't matter. Bite them, tear their ear off, bite their ear off, be a Mike Tyson. Do whatever the hell you got to do. But you're not going to stand there and take a beating from somebody. No, that wouldn't be me. Yeah, I guess I would take my licks and take my punches and all that. Probably would happen. More likely. But it doesn't mean I can't inflict any damage on anybody either. Don't be so naive and to think something like that I couldn't inflict hurt on somebody. But I don't like violence, period, man. I will avoid it at all cost. I mean, all cost. I'm in a different country, especially. Why do you think Barry didn't get his ass kicked in TGIF? Think hard. Had nothing to do with fearing Barry, of all people. Believe me, he is the least person I'd be afraid of in a fight. The same with Jay. I would never fear Jay. But I certainly didn't fear Barry. Barry's very fortunate. Well, you know the story. It wasn't too long ago I had just gotten back from Hawaii because the good old COVID had me stuck in Hawaii for about 14 months. Little did I know I was going to be there that long, but I did. I made the best of it anyway, know the rest of the story, the house, all that stuff, As it turned out, it was a good visit to Hawaii and get things done, As it turned out for the best, but I didn't want to be separated from my girlfriend, again. That's why Barry got lucky. There he was. That little cockroach was right in front of me. What an opportunity. But I had to think. I just got back from fucking Hawaii. I'm in a public restaurant, private restaurant, actually, whatever we call it. Cameras, the whole bit. And, not to mention, Barry didn't come alone. Brian came sitting on the other side of the bar. He's a little backup, man, because Barry would never come there on his own, ever. And I didn't want to hassle with that guy. That guy would have been in trouble. He's a big brood. I'm not that stupid. And Ricky would not have come to the rescue because Ricky planned the whole fucking thing. All for drama on his show. And that's why he's be called Ricky Drama, because he lives for drama. Well, one day there's going to be drama in Ricky's life when you least expect it. Hello, Coin Society. These trolls should be more worried about who they don't see and who's out there that they don't know about you. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Look, I'm capable of a lot of things, and it doesn't have to be done by my hands either. Keep that in mind. What I can't take care of, somebody else could take care of for me. If I really wanted to go in that direction. It's real cheap out here. 500 pesos will get you anybody that's desperate enough. But I don't resort to that. I don't resort to that shit. Guns for hire, that kind of shit. I don't do that shit. I don't advocate that crap at all. Enough of that shit happens here in the Philippines every fucking day. If I really wanted to get even with somebody, believe me, I could. Believe me, I could. You'd be surprised the resources I have, which we won't go into at all, if I really wanted to get down and dirty. And I'm not even going to hint what I'm talking about. If I had to, last resort. As I said, I don't advocate violence at all. But there are other ways to skin a cat. I still want to know the meaning of that expression. Where did it ever came from? Skin a cat. But you get my point. And right now, I'm at a level right now where, well, there's nothing wrong with my memory, you know. I'm not that old, dudes. It just builds up in me. And I say, enough. Okay, heard enough. Now, I'm going to push on the immigration with Kevin. And I will write these agencies like there's no tomorrow. Until I get their attention. And I'll give them attention. I did it with Barry. They hated hearing from me for a while. Believe me, they did. We got your letters, Frank. We got your videos, Frank. We got enough. But no, that wasn't enough for me, and I continued sending them. I wanted to get my point out, and I did. I don't think there's anybody at the immigration office or DOJ, actually, that doesn't know who I am and don't know who Barry Lee Jordan is. There's not one person in that office, including the fucking guy who sweeps the floors. If I'm going to go in, I'm going to go fully in. Seriously, there are people in the shadows that don't like what they are doing. Yeah, you just never know. That applies to me too, but you never know that you just never know. I understand that completely. But nobody should involve my girlfriend in anything. She has a right to come on my show and give her opinion, like she did the other day. No, she didn't have a script in front of her. And when she talks, she has to think about her English to get her thoughts through. She's not what you call fluent English, like I sound now to you, without having to think about what I'm saying and the wordage. It's different with some Filipinos who have. A lot of them, they're born in a city, tend to talk a lot better English than a lot of women in the provinces. Although there's a lot of women in the provinces that speak very good English too, but in comparison to like city dwellers, city slickers, yeah, there's a big difference. Well, at least I've noticed it anyway. But Kevin just kind of pushed me too far. Now, I can't guarantee what's going to happen with him, but I'm letting, after the show, in fact, I didn't do it yesterday. I'm just gathering the screenshots and everything I have of his report and all that stuff. And his pictures and stuff like that I'm putting together. I got them together now, and I just now got the email addresses of the Vietnam and the Thailand offices. So that's what I'll be doing after this broadcast, actually. And Kevin's going to be a man without a country at some point. I don't even know if his aunt will accept him back in the basement. She might have, turned it into a storage unit. This is what happens when you fuck with people too much, man. I think people are beyond the fact that, that Frank is the scourge of the community. They know I'm not. They know exactly what's been going down in Funky Town. They know the antagonism that, that's been going on. The doxing, the defamation, the false allegations, all that shit. There's not anybody out there or their grandmother that don't know what's going on here. I don't see how they wouldn't. So it comes to the point that, and it's really up to me, really. Just want to write these people off as fucktards and leave it at that. Sure, there's a few I actually have. But I think when push comes to shove, like I use that expression, I fired my warning shots. And if he doesn't hear or understand these warning shots, then anything goes. I always give warning of one sort or another, which I think is fair enough. I did that with Barry. He didn't stop. How long has it been? I don't have the counter in front of me. Popeye's the man with the counter. So let's see. 2 years in Mandawi, 1 month in Bikitan, now he's in Bilibid. How long has it been now? A couple of weeks? 3 weeks? What has it been? Anybody know how long he's been in Bilibid? I mean, I don't mark it on my calendar. I don't have any idea. Well, I hope he's enjoying himself. See, Barry didn't expect all that, too. He was so cocky. Oh, it's never going to happen to me. And that's why I think a lot of these trolls think it's never going to happen to me. You guys know what I do. Roberto didn't like it when 2 times he had police come to his door. Complete embarrassment to his family because he didn't want to shut his mouth. I could do the same thing with Robert. I thought about doing it once. I still could. Regarding Roberto, I don't know for sure anything, but it just sure sounds like it's real. I think it's quite possible he has Alzheimer's. Because it looks like around the time that he figured he had Alzheimer's, so he's putting things up on his Facebook about giving donations to the Alzheimer's Foundation. Yeah, Coin says, seriously, there are people in the shadows that don't like what they're doing. Believe me, I know. I get people that write me that are fully behind me. And it's not a bullshit statement at all. They're the very people that are giving me the information. You see, a lot of people don't want to get involved. They figure, let Frank do it. But, I'll give them credit because they're at least, they give me information. These are people that hate some of these people on here. And there are people who back me up. Where do you think I get this information from? You think I'm paying for these online sites where you could get information on people? No. I'm not at all. I never had to. Because I've always had people figure, I'm going to help Frank, maybe not in a way they'd like me to help, to go contact authorities and shit like that. Some of them have, though. But they send me information. Some of it is bullshit from some trolls, but I've had some very legitimate information from people who write me. I know the certain people that write me to give me the legit stuff. I'm not going to mention their names or who they are on YouTube, but They give you the legitimate stuff. And how could you not believe a profile that they send you on somebody that tells where they worked, everything? Family names even come together that you might be familiar with, where they lived before. So you know it's a true report. And, the shit that came in on Big Kevin, that was real. The shit that came in on Don C, that was real. Don C emphatically denies it. Of course he is. Was he going to admit it? Of course Don C is going to deny it. Of course. Many people are behind you, Frank. Abo J. Milby. Many people are behind you, Frank. You're getting 20 likes on some videos. Would be more if you left up the shows. Maybe I'll do that. I have reasons why I'll take off any of my shows. Well, one being that it's going to be on the Copycat channel anyway. It's still going to be out there. I have my other reasons why I do that too. But it's going to be out there. Really amazing stuff. And isn't that amazing that that one vlogger actually was staying at the Stanley House next to Fazio? I came out with that information because the guy put a show on. Mike's Philippines Retirement. Go see the last one or the one before that. He's always doing shows, so it's multiple shows, but in the title will be something about scammers in the Philippines. And he doesn't really go into, he talks about a lot of other stuff. It's just at the beginning of the show, he was telling a story about Fazio. He was there when Ricky came over. He even seen Ricky get out of the V-Hire van when he was entering the Stanley House, because everybody there was nosy. Somebody showing up, oh, who's coming in here now? It was like a tiny community in that building. I'm not sure why Mike's Philippines Retirement wound up there. He wasn't with the wife he has now. I don't know, some chick he met in Bohol or something. I don't know, but the old boy got around himself. And he saw everything that happened. And he knew that Fazio was a major scammer. He knew because he would listen especially after that happened. Who's this guy? He knew he was doing a live show. He figured he was on YouTube. I'm going to check this out. And he did. And he knew that Fazio was a major scammer. And that was interesting. That was something I never knew. Well, I wouldn't have known unless this guy, Mike's Philippines Retirement, talked about it. I said, no shit. He was at the Stanley House next door when that all happened. He was there for a while, so he knew of the crazy things going on. And then when he started, the meat and bones of that one, guys. The meat and bones of this one. Poor Daisy May. Did you hear? You have to listen to Mike's Philippines Retirement. Go listen to the beginning of his show. That's when he talks about it. The rest of it, he doesn't really save you time on that. She was skinny. Him and his girlfriend was feeding Daisy May. She, in fact, was actually an indentured servant or slave to Michael Fazio. He didn't want to let her go. She'd be working and she was dirty and sweaty, working in the yard for him. Him making her do shit around there. And as Mike's Philippines Retirement said, Fazio would come back to the shack from doing shopping. He had big shopping bags on him full of food. And he'd be stuffing his fucking mouth. And he wouldn't even be feeding Daisy. Or hardly anything at all. Bad enough so that the people at the Stanley House, what happens to be that Mike guy, they would come occasionally and feed Daisy May. And this is the guy that they honored. This is the scumbag. The sick bastard that he was. But now he's in his fucking grave and he's not going to hurt anybody anymore. The same as Barry's not going to hurt anybody anymore in this fucking country ever again. For the rest of his life. And what he does outside of the Philippines, he does. But he ain't coming back into this country. He's convicted. If you're convicted, you're not coming back into this country. That's it. It's all she wrote with Barry Lee Jordan. It's my best work ever that I'm absolutely proud of. I didn't just do this for me, and a lot of people don't appreciate what I did. Instead, they want to attack me for it. Why? It could be your daughter that he's going after. It could be you that he borrowed money from and never paid you back. Or whatever. It gets deep. It gets deep. With him and Jay, actually. It gets deep. I did you all a favor. But nobody really showed any appreciation. Not really. And not just monetary. When I was monetized. Let Frank be the sheriff in town. Let Frank do all the work. That's what really disappointed me, to be honest with you guys. That's what disappointed me. I don't want to get my hands involved in this. I don't want to get my hands dirty. But I sure dirtied my hands doing this. I worked my hands. Let Frank do it. Let me stay out of this. He's doing a good job. Good boy, Frankie. You're doing a good job. But we're not going to help you. Yeah, that's the way it was. That's the way it was. That still pisses me off. I don't mean the money. I think people should have been more involved, and I think they should have. And a few people have, though. They have written immigration and stuff like that. They have. There was a few people that did. I know they did. Some people did their part, but the majority of people did not. You know how it is. It's the way it works in life. Let the other person do it. Let them do the dirty work. Let them take the garbage out. I don't want to dirty my hands. Yeah, that's the way it was. But when I start something, I tend to finish it. And I think you all know that by now. Piss me off enough, you just never know what's going on with you. How do you know there's nothing going on with anybody else? I don't talk about it. Not at all. And I won't. I'll give some people hints. I'll fire my warning shots with Jay and, and with Ricky and with our boy, Kevin. I've already fired the warning shots. They didn't adhere. That's all I can do. I fire the warning shots. And anything goes from there. You just spin the wheel, where it goes, round and round, nobody knows. And you don't. I could be successful, maybe not. But I'm going to try. But no, I'm not the sheriff in town. And I'm not trying to be the sheriff on here at all. Only when something pertains to me or mine. That's it. I'm not interested what anybody else does to each other. If they could beat the shit out of each other, kill each other, I don't give a fuck. Don't want to sound cold, but I don't give a fuck. But hit me personally. Or my girlfriend, family, whatever. That's a different story. All together. All together. I don't even understand why I'm even still on fucking YouTube, really. Maybe I enjoy watching them sweat. Maybe I enjoy some of this shit on here. I'm a student of human nature. I said it probably 100 times, and there's a truth to that. I wasn't just a student of fine arts. I've always been a student of human nature all my life. I was a very inquisitive kid when I was young. I was very nosy. I wanted to know what's going on. I wanted to always understand the situation that was going on. My mind was really open to stuff like that. People's behaviors. I should have been, I probably went in the wrong direction in my life as far as a career direction. Probably. I could think of several things I should be doing, should have been doing, as far as a career choice. I might have been successful at either one of them that I was thinking about in actuality. I missed the boat, I suppose. Coin Society. Some will be going quietly into battle of subduing the enemy without fighting or using strategic deception to gain an advantage. The Art of War. Sun Tzu. The Art of War. Yes, it's an intricate art. What you got to worry about is the quiet ones. Now, I know people figure that Frank talks about just about everything. He gives out all this information. That's not necessarily true. Because I do things behind the scenes that many people don't know about. Yeah. I almost did something once that could have got me in trouble. When Barry was free, and this happened right in Cebu, and the only person that talked me out of it was my girlfriend. We're not talking about TGIF. I forgot, it was Bamboozers, I think, and Barry was there and some other people were there. And I knew he was there that night. And we just happened to be in Cebu that night. And we were staying over at that building called the Horizon 101 at the time. And I seen that Barry was there. And I told Gilda, I'm going over there. She said, what do you mean you're going to? Frank, stay. Don't go over there. I left the door anyway. Okay. She came out. She said, look, I don't want to get into an argument with you, Frank. And she doesn't like that. Because we really don't argue much. She figured I was going to get hurt because Barry was not alone. He was with some other YouTubers that night. I forgot exactly who was there, but it was at, I don't know if it was under the same name at the time, Bamboozers. It might have been the previous owner. I can't give a date on that. I was going to go there and approach Barry and beat the loving shit out of him. Gilda prevented me from doing that. Legal reasons to get arrested, or the fact that there were multiple people there that might have came to Barry's rescue. And it would be a stupid move to do. But yes, I actually was going to approach Barry in Cebu. Had nothing to do with TGIF, and totally different thing. He was out drinking with the boys. You don't think I got balls? I did. And I knew who was going to be there. But I also thought in my mind that they were not going to defend Barry. That's why I wanted to go there, because I didn't think they were going to defend Barry. They probably wouldn't want to get involved. They weren't going to have a multiple fight and beat one man up, 3 other people that were there. I think Brevis was there. I know Brevis was there. I forgot who else was there. If Ricky was there. I know it was a situation where Barry was with a couple of different YouTubers were there. I know Brevis was there. And Brevis wouldn't have done shit. Brevis wouldn't have done shit. He'd just be locked and loaded. Or 2 against 1 would be Brevis's way. Yeah, let's get Frank. It's you and me, Barry. He wouldn't do it alone. Anyway, I just gave out some secret information. Oh, I was hunting Barry down. But this was an accident, really. Because when I went to Cebu that time, and I went online, and I seen that somebody, I don't know if it was Ricky or who it was, they had a live show going on. It could have been Barry. I think it actually probably was Barry. It's been a long time ago when that happened. I says, fuck, they're right down the fucking block. I said, they're right there, Gilda. I said, they're right there. He's right there. And she was adamant against me doing that. I went out the door anyway. Even took the elevator down, and she followed me right down. She did. Told me, don't. She told me there's more than one person there, Frank. Don't take the chance. Well, she convinced me. I'm probably glad that she did, because I could have wound up in jail. Or could have wound up hurt, because there was more than one person there. A little story that I never shared with my viewers, by the way. This is a first. There's Kuya John. What's up? Are you the same John? You're a Native American guy? Are you going into different names? Are you that John? And that's the one that used to be donating to Kevin all the time? And he was your prime donator? Or were you, maybe you're on the outs now or something? Are you that John that was always very giving to Kevin? Are you the same guy? I'm just curious. I'm his alter ego. Nah, you're not the same person. Okay. So you got blacklisted, huh? 5 years. I might be dead in 5 years if I got thrown out. So that's why I'm making sure I don't. You might surprise how long I might live. Who the fuck knows? I could die in 5 minutes. Who the fuck knows? I'm gonna be thinking about shit like that. I live day by day, man. That's it. That's all you can do. I mean, what else can do? What can you do? Live day by day, man. Take life by the balls. Do what you can. Do the best you can. To keep kicking, wake up every morning, Mr. John. Because that's all you can do. Do your best. But the one thing you don't do is to back down on anybody. They want to hit dirty and hard. If they want to dig dirty down and hard. Look at this one. Really. Nurse's aide. Ricky, nurse's aide. Nurse's aide. Cleaning toilet. Cleaning bedpans. Cleaning bedpans. Does it get more real than that? Oh, I could be a real bastard when I want to, though. Yeah, he is toxic. I could be a real bastard when I want to, obviously. It's not my character, though. You hurt that cat, Ginger, didn't you? You hurt that cat. Bad. Bad. I better check on that cat, see if the mother somehow took it away or if it's still laying there. I gotta put some slippers on here. I got gravel out there. I can't walk on the freaking gravel. Poor kitten. I don't know what to do for it, really. I mean, I honestly don't know what to do for that kitten. Hopefully Mama takes it by the nape of its neck somewhere and nurses it, whatever. I'd like to see that kind of shit happen. Okay, let me head out here. Had to put my slippers on here. Okay.
When you raise a house or when you're raising something really heavy, you don't go,
fucking girl, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, you fucking bastard. Fuck you, you motherfucker. You motherfucking bastard. You motherfucker. Come on, no, get bury him. Get on, you motherfucker. Get bury him. You fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking shit of my fucking bitch. You fucking get bury him. Fuck you. Get bury him. Under all fucking. No, you're not. Under all fucking.
You're going to jail, asshole.
It's really amazing. Or maybe it's not too amazing knowing Robert Clausen. That even on Memorial Day, he's doing a special to honor the vets. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I'll begin to say on that. Nothing wrong with that at all. However, he turns the show into a Rank Out Frankie show. Talk about obsession. On a very special day, on a very special memorial to the vets, he turns the show against me. I mean, talk about obsession. Popeye, of course, overplaying his role in the Navy. He was in no foxholes. He didn't serve in the Gulf War. He didn't fight in the Gulf War. He was a glorified security guard. But hey, nevertheless, that's still serving the country. I don't have a problem with that. I don't like when he over-exemplifies his role in the Navy. That's the problem I have. Everybody's serving, and whether you're a pencil pusher, whatever you might be, you are serving. But when Popeye kind of adds a little bit of his hyperbole to his role in the Navy, that's when I laugh. The things that I've seen. You weren't out to see action, Robert Clausen. You were not out to see action. You did not serve to see any action whatsoever. And of course, he's trying to get the hearts of the vets out there by memorializing Memorial Day. That's fine. And he's trying to make it sound like I'm against the vets. Practically my whole family line was in the line of service with government. My uncle, who recently died of over 100 years old, he was awarded about 6 or 7 different medals. I put it on here. Yeah, he does a show called entitled Memorial Day Tribute and ends up talking about you for the majority of the show. What the fuck? Even Mike Ross came in on there and said the same thing that you just said. Same thing. The same thing. Even Mike Ross had to put his 2 cents in there on that one. He turns the show into me. He just was trying to do a show to find reason to attack me. I am not against military personnel. I not only had people that served in various wars, but I've also had, on a more local level, I've had policemen and detectives. I even had an aunt who was a jailer. Mary Marco was her name, M-A-R-C-O, who lived in Mount Vernon, New York. She lived to be almost 100 years old. Yeah. My father served in the Navy. His brother Tony, the one I'm talking about, had medals. He served in the Army. He had actually shrapnel in him to the day he died. And medals to prove his service. Popeye also tries to turn it in to get people against me by saying I was a draft dodger. Popeye's been saying that for years. When did I avoid the draft? I wasn't called in for service. I didn't run away. I was in college at the time, and it wasn't in college to avoid the draft. And also, as most people know, I have a hearing problem with my right ear. I would not have been taken into the service with a bad ear. But of course, this is Popeye we're talking about. He wants to turn people against me is what he's trying to do. I have absolutely nothing against people who serve in the military. It's just not my thing. It's not my thing. I don't like killing people I don't even know. Unless I had to protect myself, of course. It's either him or me, and I understand that situation in war. That's exactly what it is. But you're not going to place me in a battlefield fighting a war such as Vietnam that we had no reason to be there. And you know that. And any vets that ever served in Vietnam, fighting the Viet Cong, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And I've never met anyone that served in Vietnam that did not come out of that skirmish, let's call it, without feeling the same way. They wrote songs about it. Vietnam, 1, 2, 3, what are we fighting for? Don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. I'm going to die. They fought a war that we had no right being in. That's what was going on during that time. I was in college. I had a bad ear. They did not call me in for service. I didn't run away to Canada. I didn't have to do anything. That's pushing it a little bit too far, Popeye, with your draft dodging shit. To try to get vets against me. I never dodged the draft. They would have never taken me in. Yeah. War is evil, period. It is. I'm not against the people that serve the country. Although Popeye's trying to turn it around to get some vets against me. Anything he could do to contribute to his little hate fest. How many relatives of mine served? Even in local government as police and police detectives and police captains. My father was in the Navy for a while. But my father didn't make up no stories. That he fought anywhere. He never made up any stories at all. My uncle did, though. Well, he didn't make up stories, my uncle. And I've showed you his picture. I showed you his record, his medals. So when Popeye comes on there and makes such a lame statement of sorts, that I don't give a shit about the, just look around the world today, that I don't give a shit about the vets and all that stuff, that is so wrong. But then Popeye's always wrong about everything. He just hates me, that's all it is. He's not going to say a kind word about me ever. But to call me a draft dodger? That's ridiculous. Nobody dodged any draft. I wasn't getting... I neither enlisted nor was I drafted. Neither, you know. And yes, I would have thought twice. Certainly, maybe I would have gone to Canada. That's my prerogative. I'm a pacifist. I'm not a killer. I don't want to kill anybody unless I have to save my life or my family. That's a different story. Then I'll be hell on wheels. But other than that, I'm not going to fight the government's war. Now, it's different. If our country was being attacked viciously, missiles and stuff, and a lot of damage is being done, they'd probably call everybody in. Well, within reason, within age and everything else, you know, realistically. Yeah, I could see protecting the country and getting people together to fight a war that comes right in homeland. And look at 911. Well, that's kind of a very complicated story with 911. Who was really behind that? Popeye said on the stream, I rarely talk of my Navy career. It's all he talks about is his so-called Navy career. That's all he has to talk about other than me. Or his Subic Bay days of long gone. Subic Bay, the round table where he got his dick sucked. Jesus Christ, get a life, Robert. I just want to make this abundantly clear. I am not against military people at all. Every country needs their defense system. True. That would be correct. The United States needs it. Every country needs to defend themselves. against foreign invaders if they are actually invading your countries. But the horrible thing about, and as far as Ed Lippert, I don't know if he died of Agent Orange. Well, then, rah-rah government, right? They use Agent Orange on our own people. Surely they knew the effects of Agent Orange. Would I be surprised that any complications of Ed Lippert happened from Agent Orange? No, I would not be surprised. I don't think that's what he died of. I think he died of a heart attack or something. Now, if you want to blame that on Agent Orange, same way we could blame COVID on anybody who dies who had the vaccination, you could easily say that we died of the COVID injection. You can't prove it though. But Agent Orange did take the lives of many people, or the ones remaining alive. And they didn't just use Agent Orange. Oh, no. You'd be so wrong. They didn't just use Agent Orange. They used other things too. They certainly did. And I don't know if you noticed that they experimented on street people. They give them so much money, and drug addicts, to try new drugs out, and they were desperate enough to take it, and they died. I guess you didn't know that. I understand. Support your government. Sure. But understand, no government is clean. No government is clean and squeaky. And a lot of people were used in experiments while they were in duty and didn't even know it. As per se, to the Agent Orange and other agents that were used and became actually widely used in the Vietnam skirmish. Shame. Its own government did that. Popeye kind of over-embellishes his career in the Navy. He's talking about, I've seen this in foxholes. He's never been in a fucking foxhole. He didn't fight in the Gulf War. He was not on the ground with the troops, seeing people die, shooting a gun at the enemies. Popeye would have really just went into it on that. But on this show today, on Memorial Day, where he chooses to break away from his tribute to the people who served the country, breaks off into making it a show about me. So where's his sincerity? Yeah. Almost 10% of U.S. veterans live below the poverty line. Maybe Popeye should focus on that issue. Maybe he should. The question is, what is the government doing about the vets today? What are they doing about the vets? When they're all on the streets taking drugs, down and out, because the government that they fought for, he didn't want to talk about that, does he? The government that he fought for was not there for them when they needed the government. What do you say about that, Robert Clausen? Popeye was in the Navy during the easy times. And what do you call that? False valor? Something like that. And in a certain degree, it's false valor with Popeye. He's making these innuendos that he served in action. He never served in action in no Gulf War. He's been on ships that may have gone places, but he did not serve. He wound up as a security guard. That's what he did. He was in no fucking foxhole. Probably never fired a weapon and only till training. He was not firing any weapons in war. Not at all. Many during Popeye's time joined the armed forces because they didn't have any other options at the time. Yeah, they needed some security. Their life wasn't going very well for many of them, not all of them, but many of them, true. That would be the truth. They didn't know what to do with their lives, so they joined one of the armed services. Some of them joined because they really had a belief in protecting the country and being part of something really great. Others joined because there was some kind of employment. They'd get fed and taken care of by the government, and if they stayed long enough, they'd get a pension. Everybody had their reason why they joined. It's unfortunate to say that a lot of people did join because they were down and out. And guess what happened? Take a wild guess what happened. They served. And they came back home and nobody cared. And they wound up on the streets. And what did the government do to help them? What did the government, even today, do to help these people? Why don't you talk about that, Popeye? Why don't you talk about that? I dare you. I want to straighten out and make it perfectly clear. I was never a draft dodger. Ever. That situation never came up. I was in college at the time, and I didn't go to college to avoid the draft. Not even close. As most of you know that know me for years, I got pretty much a bum ear. They would have never have taken me into the service. That's a major point I'm putting out right here. They would not take me into the service with a bad hearing. That would not have happened. So just to straighten people out with Popeye's lies, there you go. Regent says the government used them, especially during Vietnam War. Well, especially during Vietnam War. And if you also don't know, during Hitler's regime, they were using drugs on their people like speed to keep them going. They hardly slept. And there was a lot of chemical engineering, let's say, going on during that time under Hitler's regime. It's commonplace in these governments. We're going to make a better soldier out of these men. Keep them awake. Get them hooked on speed and other drugs. They did. Look it up. Look it up. They absolutely did. The Vietnam situation, it was very sad. Many lost their lives, and they came back thinking, why? Why did I lose my friend there? What was the purpose? They even wrote songs about it that you're very familiar with. People came home, their wives left them, were cheating on them. You've seen the movies. I don't know, what's that movie? Coming Home or something? There was some movie that addressed that issue. They came home changed people. Although maybe they didn't want to go and serve, but they had to. They were drafted. I was never drafted. And would I have gone to Canada? Chances are I probably would. Probably would. That's my prerogative. I don't believe in war. I don't want to be, which we all are really, we are government property when you really look at it, but you are definitely government property when you're going to go sign up for the service. You are a government issue. That's what you are. Regent says that over a third of Vietnam vets never graduated high school. Interesting fact. Well, that was a factor in there. You were right earlier. I think you said that or somebody else said that. That a lot of people joined the service because they had nothing going on in their life at all during the Vietnam era. What was it, 13 years? I don't know how long it was. I'm no expert on the Vietnam War, nor do I pretend to be, but it was a long time. And America didn't win that war. They took the troops out because the Viet Cong were, well, they were winning, let's put it that way. Too many human lives were lost. It's a war that we should never have gotten involved with, ever. And I did a show about this before. Yeah, that was one of the reasons of many that people joined up. They were either getting into trouble in their life, they needed discipline, the parents told them, get the fuck out there, make a man out of yourself, whatever. There's a lot of different reasons. You know, they'd get a small government check every month, they'd get fed 3 squares a day, get housed like Obama, you know. Free housing, free electricity like Obama. Oh, by the way, Bummer put a statement in there. He called me a dum-dum. He still uses his phone. He hears everything that's going on. He's paying off some guards. He's still in there. He's not doing a full-fledged show or nothing, but he's coming on these live streams. He came on Popeye's. Frank's a dum-dum. That's definitely Barry, because he would use that terminology, a dum-dum. That was Barry. There's no question about that. Popeye comes on there sounding so serious. And he comes on to do a show about Memorial Day. Okay, do a show about Memorial Day. Are you that fucking obsessed with me that you had to turn it into a show against me? That's pretty bad. Dude, go get laid. I told you, man. Get something positive going in your life. Find a woman. As long as you could breed, there's a chance, you know? Even if it's silver-haired, gray-haired women at the bingo parlor, man, get a woman. For God's sakes. For God and country. Well, you see, I don't mix those together. I don't mix those together. God and country. God has nothing to do with the country. The country has nothing to do with God, in a sense. But Popeye likes to attack me and say, well, Frank, well, see, Popeye's supposed to believe in rights. He's a big guy on our rights as Americans and so forth, and as a species, right? A big thing on rights. But he's telling me that I'm not a great person because I don't believe in any organized religion. Well, I don't. I'm not afraid to say that. It is my prerogative, Popeye, or anybody else who's listening. I don't believe in organized religion. I just don't. That's my thoughts. That's my doings. That's my choices. If you believe in that, I give you power. I've always said that. I don't hold that against anybody. All I ever said, if you're going to practice something, practice what you preach. And don't be a hypocrite. And Popeye is a hypocrite because he pushes religion so big, but he's the most hateful person that's ever been on YouTube, bar none. You think Kevin was hateful than anybody else, or Don or anybody? No. Popeye. He's the most hateful, disgusting person on YouTube. I don't think anybody out there would disagree with me. I don't think anybody would disagree. Popeye. Very hateful person. But then again, we haven't been laid in how many decades, you do get a little bit bitter. Popeye, congrats. You joined the Navy, you served your country. But don't lie to people to say that you saw action. You never saw action, Popeye. You've never talked about it. You never indicated. We know your job. We've even seen it on some little rap sheets on you, some profiles. You were a guard, a security guard to like to pull their weight on drunks. And you got a joy of carrying a gun and the joy of having people arrested. Some things just haven't changed, has it? You enjoy trying to inflict your pain on me. Well, it's not working. I think Popeye is just bitter the way his life turned out. Yeah, Regent, that's exactly what it is. I'm not going to be on you that much longer. Yeah, that's all it really comes down to. So just to make something straight, I was never a draft dodger. And the better line of my family was all in the service, Navy and Army, most of the Army, police officers, detectives, captains of a police force. They all served in my family. They all served. And I showed you the medals that my grandfather received, where he served, even in the Philippines. 6 or 7 medals, if I'm not correct. So don't tell me that I don't have any respect for veterans. That is total bullshit. Total fucking bullshit. Coming from a big bullshit artist. Of course he's bitter, man. It's good that you served your country, Popeye. I'm not saying that. Just don't over-exemplify what you did. Of course, everybody's in the service, they have a purpose. Yes, whether you're a paper and pencil pusher, that's a service. I agree. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I thought about that very hard. I said, yeah, they did. You have to. You got to have offices. You got to have administrative offices. You got to have pencil pushers and all that, however you want to classify them. Of course you do. That's what makes the whole service go. And yes, they are important positions, but the difference I say to my audience is that don't play this false valor shit. That's all Popeye's doing is false valor. It makes me sick when somebody does false valor. He should be dishonored for his false valor. That's what I say. He should be dishonored for it. He did not see any fucking action at all. If he saw any action, he'd be pissing his pants. He'd be out on a Section 8 or something. He was no foxholes like he claimed. He didn't actually fight in the Gulf War. He didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. He was a security guard. And he swabbed the decks. Okay, that's a service. That's a service. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. I don't hate veterans, period. I do not. At all. Don't put words in my mouth, Robert. Like to shove them all back in your mouth and make you choke on it. I support the veterans. I just don't support war. And that's my prerogative. And I don't support organized religion. That's my prerogative. But he doesn't feel, he talks about America's freedoms. And you got freedoms because of the people in the service. Sure. But let's recognize more freedoms, Robert Clausen. Let's recognize more freedoms. Right? Freedom to make decisions, Popeye. Freedom to make choices, Popeye. You want to take that away from me and everybody else. You made the decision to join the Navy. I didn't. Nor did I get drafted, nor was I a draft dodger. But if you believe rah, rah, rah with America and all that stuff, and that's fine. I was born there. I love America. I'm not rah, rah America these days because it's changed so much. I think a lot of people would agree with me. I don't think they'd argue me on that at all. America's so great. What are they doing for these veterans who served? He doesn't talk about that, does he? The ones that are in the streets that became drug addicts and alcoholics. He don't talk about that, does he? About his great America. Maybe America was once great, and they want to do the MAGA campaign to make America great again. But come on, what truly is Trump doing? What is he really doing? With all his tariffs, making it harder for people to survive, they're losing businesses. And he supports that kind of behavior. Give it a break, Popeye. Did you say Dex or Dix? He's just bitter. Bitter as a bitter lemon, man. The guy's just so fucking bitter. It's really a shame that this guy's just crumbling up in his chair, drinking his vodka, smoking his Camels, and preaching with a war hero. False valor, motherfucker. False valor, motherfucker. False valor. Don't pretend to do things that you never did. Because there's a lot of people out there, Mr. Robert Clausen, that did do these things. And they did come back maimed. They did come back dead. Fuck the false valor shit. You were a security guard. Fuck the valor as far as action. The only action you've seen is your fucking right hand on your fucking cock. That's the only action you've seen. That's it. Can I put it any better than that? So don't ever say, ever, that I'm against the veterans. And I know what went on in Vietnam. I didn't have to be there. I told you I know a bona fide colonel, and I've talked about it in Hawaii, and he wrote 2 books. 2 books. He's seen everything there was there to see there. And he was very honest about even his part, which wasn't very great, holding up 2 Viet Cong people's heads in each hand, displaying it for a photograph. He actually succumbed to all this, and he talked about it in his book. He had the pictures that I didn't want to see it. I know the guy because he used to go every Sunday in Hawaii, in Keau. And they have the public market every Sunday. And he had a stand there. He's selling knives and flags and different nations and all kinds of different stuff, you know. And me and my brother got to know him pretty well, got to know his wife. And I read his book. My brother had the copy of it. I wish I would have kept it, should have given it to my brother. It's nowheresville now, but I know exactly what went on in Vietnam, and without even me being there. Yes, you could know. It's called knowledge, Popeye. It's called reading, and best of all, it's from talking to somebody who actually served in Vietnam. That's right. That's how I know these things. And for what I know about Vietnam, I would have never gone there. You goddamn rootin' tootin' raspberry right. I would have never gone there. I would have went to Canada. You bet believe I would have went to Canada or somewhere. Maybe would have went to the Philippines at that time. Who knows? I wasn't going to serve in no fucking war that we had no right to be in. We had no right being there. And you are a dick sucker, Popeye. Your fucking false valor really pisses me off. Of course, all the vets out there, good show for putting on a thing about Memorial Day. Well, that's a nice gesture. It really is. To honor Memorial Day for those that died and those who become maimed from serving. That's a good thing. But then he turns it into a Frank Out Frank show, and it wasn't really about Memorial Day. It was an excuse to come on and talk about me. You are really obsessed, Robert. You really are obsessed. You are really obsessed. You are a sick man. Very sick. Go get laid, for God's sakes, man. How long can you have blue balls before they turn purple and they fucking degenerate? Go find one of them blue-haired ladies at the bingo parlor, man. But don't fucking put words in my mouth. Don't paint a grim picture of who the hell I am. You only wish you were me and had my values, and I got a lot of good values and morals. Someone said, oh, I let a cat die this morning. I didn't let a cat die. I couldn't do anything for that kitten. He got bit by my dog. He died, and I took it to an appropriate place and buried it down the road. That's what I did, out of respect for the cat. Popeye don't give a shit. He's got his little foo-foo dog there. That's the only woman he's ever going to get. What happens when his foo-foo dog dies? Talk about being lonely now. I hate to even think. Let's see. Cannon, father. Huh? What's that? Canon, father since 1976. I'm not sure. Anyway, the point I'm making in my show, I'm going to have to get off in a few minutes here, is that Popeye speaks a good talk, but he can't back up anything he says. He calls me every name in the book, hoping and praying that I get deported from the Philippines. Hoping and praying. He's a praying man. Hoping and praying, only wishing ill. That's Popeye. He's never changed. He never will. Look, I didn't cause your life, Popeye, to be so lonely and bitter. It's something you did to yourself. I didn't really cause Barry to be in this situation. He did it all to himself. End of story on that. It's over. And whatever happens to Barry happens. He's on his own. And he's never going to get out of jail unless he pays me, pays the court, pays the immigration, pays the rest of his lawyer. Well, that's his new home. He put himself there. I didn't put him in Bickerton. I didn't put him in Bilibid. He did. Well, the government did. I had nothing to do with that. I had something to do with him being in Mandawi Detention Center. Damn right I did. But I didn't say how long he was going to be there. I didn't dictate or pay anybody in the immigration office to keep him there. He had a case against him at the time in court. 5 counts of cyber libel. Did it himself. And they had to throw him somewhere. They didn't want him to go jump ship. So he had to be somewhere. That's where he was. I didn't say, okay, let's see. Let's make it 2 years would suffice. Keep him in there for 2 years, lawyer. Keep him in there for 2 years, immigration office. No, I did nothing of the such. Nothing of the such. Oh, it's an old expression. Cannon fodder. I never heard it up, and then again, I'm not really a military man. All right, so to summarize this, I have nothing against the military. Sorry, Popeye. That's not working. It doesn't sit well with me. And it ain't sitting well with anybody else. I never, ever, ever was a draft dodger. Ever. I never got called in for service, Popeye. How could I be a draft dodger? And even if I was, I wouldn't be able to. I had a bad ear. 65% of my right ear is gone. They would not have taken me in, Popeye. Robert Clausen from Florida. You're a putz is what you are. You're a festering pustule. That's what you are. You're not going to just die. When you die, you're going to uggle to death because you're an ugly person in and out. Heart and soul, your internals, your outside. You're going to uggle to death because you're an ugly person. Ugly inside. You have nothing good to say about anybody on your show. And you turned a perfectly good, listen to this, folks. He turned a perfectly good and acceptable, even on my standards, memorial show, which is nothing wrong. If you were in the service, you want to memorialize those that fought for their country. There's nothing wrong with that. Never said there was. But he turned it into fucking complete shambles. when he turned the show into a let's attack Frankie show. That was disgusting, especially thinking that the whole context of his show was to celebrate Memorial Day and the people who served the country. You are a piss poor example of one of these people who served the country. Your attitude sucks, Robert Clausen. They'd look down on you if they seen the way you acted. You don't act like an ex-military man at all. You have no respect for anybody, and lesser respect for yourself, obviously. That's my show. Fuck off, Popeye. You were disgraceful on that presentation. You absolutely was disgraceful.
I'll say exactly whatever I sell on YouTube to your face, and you will do absolutely nothing except pull your camera out that you need me to say, because I'll fucking say it. I'll say exactly whatever I sell on YouTube to your face, and you will do absolutely nothing.
I accept the challenge. Well, it's healing just nicely, Abo Man. Just nicely. Starting to scab up a little bit. No infection, Abo Man. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. You wanted me to go by way of Fazio, but that's not going to happen. And as I said in my short video, challenge is on. Just let me know when you're in Cebu, Abo Man, and we'll see how brave you are. We'll see. We will see. Talk is cheap. And what did he say about me? Oh, I got it on the air. I accept the challenge, and this is made to you, Jay, anytime.
I'll say exactly whatever I sell on YouTube.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. Never happened. Let's listen to what he said.
I'll say exactly whatever I sell on YouTube to your face.
No, you
And
won't.
you will do absolutely nothing except pull your...
Well, we got to put that theory to a test. Don't you think, Abo Man? I think so. Remember, I may see you first. I'm a sneaky little motherfucker. Welcome to Cebu. Come. I accept your challenge officially. Well, what's going on now, I hear? Boy, karma is in the air, I'll tell you. What the hell is going on now? So what's going on with Flying Circus? Something's supposed to be going on with Mr. Flying Circus. Do tell, do tell. Okay, it's post-lunch time. I'm skipping lunch to have dinner tonight so I can have one meal less today. I got to lose about 2 inches in my belly. An inch will do, but I'll go for 2. A little bit of fasting. Now I'm hearing something going on with Mr. Flying Circus. So what's the news on Discord about Flying Circus? Some wrote me, or no, left a comment on my last show, actually. The show is about Abo and my boo-boo. He thinks I'm going to die like Fazio did for my little scrape. I'm glad you're so concerned, Abo. Afternoon, gentlemen, and I use that word loosely. Okay, Discord is going wild. Flying Circus had a stroke 1 to 2 days ago and is in hospital. Aww. Well, let's hope he gets better. Fucking karma is flying in the fucking air. What this past week? What the fuck? Oh, the news that's coming into me from people that are on my side after all. And I apologize to my viewers saying that you don't cooperate, because apparently you do. Karma is flying in the air. But hey, I don't wish that on anybody. I just want you guys to be in a little bit better position. We don't want to wish the worst on people. It's just that if it happens, You know, call it karma, call it what you want. It just happens to coinky dinky be the very people that are always attacking me. One by one, they are falling. Their engines are going, okay, their wings are falling apart, and they're going down. Well, I assume that I'm not going to have any really horrible little skits made about me on Flying Circus's show for a while. The source says he will recover, but it's legit news. Well, we hope he does recover. We don't wish that on anybody. We don't wish that on Flying Circus. We don't wish that on any. We don't wish it on Barry. Don't wish something on somebody that you don't want it to happen to you. I believe, and I'm a little funny about that kind of stuff. I really am. I truly am. And you think I'm joking on here? No, 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 no. Because I do believe in karma. Yeah, Flying Circus supposedly had a stroke 1 to 2 days ago. Is the word. So I'm not really going to comment much on that. It's better that I don't. It's better that I actually don't. I mean, I'm not going to say anything I'm going to regret. I'm just saying, couldn't happen to a better man. But again, on the same note, despite whether it could happen to a better man or not, you know, we don't really wish that because we're good people, right? We don't wish harm on people like that. No, we don't. Hope his doctors are Jewish. That would be hilarious. Who's this now? Phase Bourbon or whatever. The bigger news is MJ's disappearance. Yeah, I can't find his show. And when I look up MJ the Flipper, it's just coming out with some maybe other references that other shows have made on MJ the Flipper. A lot of strange shit going on. Do I have some powers or something? I am I a prophet? What the hell is going on? I didn't mean to unleash my powers, but what the hell is going on? Yeah, just figured you'd like to hear the news. Hopefully he recovers and repents for his actions toward you. Now that'll never happen. But we wish Flying Circus a quick recovery at God's speed. God's speed recovery to Mr. Flying Circus. Yeah, and I truly mean that. Actually, I don't wish that kind of harm on anybody. You know, with sickness and illness, because I'm not getting any younger. All that shit could happen to me. I don't want that to happen to me. It could happen to one of my viewers out there. You know. So because I believe in karma, I really don't wish that kind of ill on somebody. If it just happens, it happens, and whatever. Whether you want to celebrate it secretly or not, that's up to you. But I don't want to be that cruel. You know, a lot of people that's been a fucking pain in my ass. I mean, it just seems to me that all this information about them is coming forward all of a sudden. All of a sudden, everybody's cooperating, what they never did before. They're giving me more information that I could put away on just about everybody on here. Yeah. Regent says at Coin Society, he was a big, oh God, he was a big Fazio supporter. You better believe he would. He used to out these very strange videos trolling Frank and others in the community. Is this a curse in the community? What is going on? And you got to watch it out in the heat. There's this lady, a Filipina, who is middle aged, about 50 years old, you know, and she had a stroke. I think she died. She had a stroke. Did she live? Oh, Gilda just told me. You know, you can't take this. You got to take this heat with caution. Oh, I go out in the sun. Of course I do. I can't stay in the house. I go crazy. I don't care if it's just going out for chores or whatever the hell it is. No, I'm not in the house as often as you think I am. But in the mornings, I bop around. Until early evening, I bop around. But in midday, I will try at all costs to avoid the heat. I'll wear a hat. Always wear my sunglasses. I'll wear some sun lotion. I'll drink water. Maybe even some Pocari Sweat to restore some minerals and stuff. You got to do that shit. It's just, it's obvious stuff that you have to do, The community backs you up 100% on your fight against Big Cabbage. Yeah, I can't say honestly that I was surprised to get this information as far as his background. I know he drank a lot and he was a cocky motherfucker just like Barry. Everything catches up. You see what I'm talking about here? We proved that Don was not, perfect person, had a bankruptcy. So talk about mine. He still denies it, but I got the paperwork, man. I went on at everyone from Big Kevin to Jay and Ricky and that he cleaned bedpans and shit. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, the information is being shot at me. Circus. Then we find out that Brevis was molested. I'm saying, holy shit. How do these people do such great research? I'm pretty good at research, but I'm not that good. I'm simply not that good. I'm not. Not. I wish I was. See, I don't have the patience that some of these people have. Come on, thumbs up, folks. Thumbs up. We're going through some good times here. People getting exposed left and right. Of course, Mick Fisher came on Big Kevin's show the other day, knocking me as usual. I don't know what's up with this guy, really. Because he's good friends. I mean, really good with Big E. He moved to Vietnam just to be close to Big E and his harem. So, yeah, of course he's going to agree with the ideology and philosophy of Big E. Whatever he does too. I just wish Mick would think for himself, though, really. Yeah. But yeah, Popeye did such an embarrassing show today. Such an embarrassing show. Here's a man that wanted to memorialize, for Memorial Day coming. And he did a wonderful job of doing that with all the same shit that he plays every year, with the same video scene and music and rah rah, wave the flag and all that stuff, all the heroes and all that. Okay, expected that. And then, just as you would expect, he turned the show as an opportunity to bash me. And of course, he had all the typical bashers in there too. Mick Fisher was in there. Don C was in there. Was all the official bashers looked for that opportunity. Popeye could not even do a respectable show. It is supposed to be about honoring Memorial Day for the people who have served the country, the good people that have served the country. But instead, he turned it into a circus. And then I seen comments where people, and even Mike Ross came in and said a comment in relation to that, saying, this is exactly what I said. It's supposed to be about a Memorial Day, but then you start bashing Frank. I mean, you want to talk about an obsession. I'm not sure who's the most obsessed person with me. I don't know if it's Brevis, very obsessed, or if it's Popeye himself. I got a list, but, yeah. People are calling out Popeye for turning a veteran memorial tribute into a spewing hate about you. Exactly my point. This guy is sick as a mofo, man. He got way too much time. Hey, I got time on my hands. I don't have that much time. Jesus Christ. I got people here. I got people here. I got also her son and son's cousin came over here unexpectedly. I got things going on here. I got to take care of the dogs. I got to pay attention to my girlfriend. I do chores around here. I'm not going to sit there and put together this big hate show. At the same time, memorializing the people who served in the country, and then turn it into a bash, a Frank bash. I even made comments on it. Frank, 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 you are obsessed. I said, I don't know. He said he blocked me on there, but I did get some comments in, though. I believe I did. Fisher is that guy who dropped everything to move to Vietnam to be close to the ego. That's very strange. Yeah, it's the same guy. Same guy. I don't know, man. I didn't have anything really against Mick Fisher. He really turned his shit on me, man. We met up with him. It was a fact finding mission. It's the only reason. He wasn't trying to be friendly with me. He was trying to get me to get Barry out of jail. He was, that's why we call them the high roaders, him and Big Ego and so forth, the high roaders. They know everything Barry did was wrong, but they were trying to take the high road and say he served enough time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it happened to you two guys, I'll be respectable, you'd probably think differently, Mick and Ego. Yeah, it would be a whole different. Yeah. I'm not holding a grudge against Mick Fisher. I think in his own way, he just wanted to see peace, and it's just the way he went about it. I don't know. I just don't fucking meet up with me like you want to be friendly, and I'm coming to town. Let's meet up, whatever. But the real purpose was to try to convince me to drop the charges on Barry or go easy on him. Fuck that. I would have never met him. I would have never met him. Would have never have gotten together with him. Yeah. People are calling out Popeye for turning a veteran memorial tribute to spooning him. Yeah, yeah. I read that. Yeah. I'm very disappointed in Mick Fisher, really. And how he adheres to the morals and values of Big E, I just don't understand it. I thought Mick was better than that. I really thought he was, but oh well. Can't trust anybody on here. Mick is going to do what he does. Big E's going to do what he does. They're not going to change, neither one of them. They got their own convictions and values and whatnot. And we don't have to agree with them. None of us have to agree with them. It's art. It's what they practice. We could all make judgment on how they live socially and doing things outside of the marriage and all that stuff. But that's for them to persevere, because there's always trouble with that. There already was, if you remember. And that's going to continue at some point in the future. I'll guarantee it. I'll give you 125% guarantee that some time in the future is going to be some kind of big spat going on in his little harem. Yeah. Ego said Mick Fish was legitimately trying to be your friend. No, 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 no. Mick came on there and said, I heard him another show. No, he said I wasn't going. No, 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 that is bullshit. I heard Mick say I wasn't trying to be friends with Frank. And he said it. He came over there to try to de-escalate the shit with Barry. He wasn't trying to be my friend. He was very nice. We enjoyed him in Yat's company. No problem. He was very generous. He had bought a lunch or a breakfast for us, whatever, or both. I don't remember. Very nice. He met, a good part of my Philippines family here. Gilda, and of course her kids got together there. The daughters, the sons. We were all there at this kind of resort area. Well, yeah, resort area near the Cove, Paradise Cove, and it was fine. Music playing, kids were having a great time, and no problem, no problem at all. I wrote it off as that. But he seems to be really against me. That's really too bad. But then again, you have to understand something about me anyway. I'm not looking particularly to make friends from other YouTubers. That's not my goal. So it works out for me, but still, it's kind of a disappointment. Yeah. No, Big E's lying against that as usual. Mick Fisher was not genuinely trying to be my friend, because I heard it from Mick Fisher when he was on a live stream on Kevin's one time. I wasn't looking to be friends with him. That's what he said. So they're both lying. I don't know. What do you expect? I mean, what the hell? Look, I really don't care. My best friend in the world is right here at this house. I don't need a goddamn friend, but I got neighbor friends. And I got, all of her friends are my friends. I mean, do you know how many people she knows out here that we've gotten together with, both men, women, some foreigners too? I got plenty of friends out here that would come to my assistance if I needed to. I don't hang with them, but they're there for us all the time, as well as her family. I got all the friends I could use in my life. But the most important friend of mine, who's everything from a lover to a friend to a confidant, companion, caretaker, you name it. She fits all these descriptions. She's the one. She's my best friend, besides my dogs, in the whole world. That's all I need. Oh, by the way, the kitten died. By the way, I was following that story. To hear Popeye the show, Frank didn't take care of a kitten. He let the ants eat it up. Go see a fucking shrink, Robert. Seriously, man. Go see a fucking shrink. Yeah. I was supposedly a draft dodger. He's still harping on that too. You know my story, folks. I'm not going to repeat it. I never was a draft dodger with the Vietnam War. That never happened. You know, and if I was, I'd tell you straight out that I was not going to go there. Period. And I would have told you I would have ran to Canada or some shit like that. But I didn't. I wasn't drafted. I wasn't. You know, there's nothing to dodge the draft because I wasn't being drafted. He's just trying to pick up every little piece he can off the floor, like Ricky picking up those free mail tickets in Las Vegas. You know, find his little certificates. You know, get a free mail or a discount on something. Popeye's just on the floor trying all these pieces. You know, like under the editing table or something. I don't know of what he could find bad on me or something. And he's doing a horrible job of it too. Actually, yeah. You know, I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm not going to say that I hate Mick Fisher. I just don't understand him and why he doesn't have an open mind about stuff. He's going to side with Big Ego. Well, they're both big guys. They both got a lot of money. Okay, there you are. They got that little power wallet. You know, they got the power wallet. You know, like to go out and have those five-star dinners together. You know, and of course, Mickey is sowing his oats over in Vietnam. And if you're single, why not? I don't know. I thought his girlfriend was yachts. I don't. I don't know. That's what I thought anyway. And by the way, what the fuck did she have against me? And by the way, I've never put down yachts ever, ever. It's like another fucking Shaw situation. I've never put down yachts, but they were saying that kind of shit too. Because I know she's been against me. I know she has. I've seen comments for her on these live shows, trying to impress Mick or something. I don't know what she was trying to do, but I never done it. Have you ever hear me say anything bad about yachts? I've never said anything bad about her. She's never even been a topic matter really, except to mention that she did go with Mick Fisher when we met up. She accompanied Mick Fisher, whether they were girlfriend or boyfriend. I really don't know, and I really don't care. I don't know why he was trying to hide it. She didn't want to be on camera for shit. She didn't want to be seen with Mick Fisher for some reason, or vice versa. I don't know why. You got to ask them. I had no problem with it. Mick Fisher didn't want that, and I think I had some good footage too. I wanted to use, and I didn't use it. Let's see. Regent says standing. He makes them all look like fools. They all used to hate each other. Now all join forces to save face. Yeah, that's kind of way it works. Yeah. Mick Smith says Frisbee needs to open a waffle. You're always saying that. A waffle flipping business in jail. Mantis needs a business model to earn 750,000 pesos. Well, those guys, Mick Fisher, Big E, and all them, and Don C, they supposedly have all the money to help him out, but apparently they decided not to do so, or else he'd be out by now. I think it's pretty obvious. And as you guys know, I don't care either way because, Barry has a summary deportation going already from 2 years ago, whatever it's been. And he's bound to be evicted from the country anyway, but, permanently because of his conviction, actually, he's a felon. But, uh, you know, if he doesn't pay what he owes me in the court, then he stays longer. I have my daughter's son John here, who actually is studying law, and he was telling me that, and he agreed that yeah, Filipinos notice Bilibid is the worst prison in the whole of the Philippines, the worst of the worst. I thought Bicutan was, but I found out that Bilibid was the absolute worst place to ever fucking be. And Coinky Dinky Barry winds up in there. Isn't that something? Karma has been, I'm telling you, man, I hope karma keeps on helping me out here, man, because so far karma's been on my side. It's a wait and see game, but so far it's been fantastic. Yeah. To be seen with Mick Fisher is to be labeled the same way ego is not a good look for a female. Oh, well. I'm watching what I say on here. I'm trying to be pragmatic. I'm trying to be kind. I'm um, trying to be nice about all this. Okay. But some things are very obvious, and you don't need me to tell you about it because you guys hear and see it and witness it yourself. There's a lot you know about what's going on in here. That don't need to be mentioned, okay? Really, it doesn't. It seems that they're all dropping like flies. Well, they're getting older. My understanding that Flying Circus was kind of up there in years. I think was in his 80ish, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. That's what I heard. Am I wrong on that or right on that? Yeah, I heard he was up there in age. He's one of the second oldest vloggers on here. The other would be that British guy in the Philippines that was using all these religious donations. He's like 83 or 84 now. I don't know what he is. The one that got in trouble because he wasn't licensed for charitable. What was his name? British foreigner in the Philippines or something like that. I think he's still on. He's really up there in age. And as I said, I don't really like hate anybody on here. I may not be happy with some people on here. I may dislike some people on here, but hate is kind of an extreme, you know. No matter what they say about me or even my girlfriend, it could be upsetting to me, but I'm not going to hate the person for that. You know, they'd have to do something, pretty volatile. Well, you're probably thinking I hate Shaw after what she's doing. No, I dislike Shaw. Okay, I was actually somewhere in the middle in the past, but when she pulled that crap, putting a complaint in on me, it kind of changed things over a little bit in a worse direction. Let's just say with kindness, I dislike her. I dislike every single thing about her. I dislike what she did. Let's just put it mildly and leave it at that. There's enough people to each donate $500 in free Barry, but that will never happen. Well, the prison system is a forgotten system. We know a guy here who, of course, they turned that around too, saying that I'm hanging with drug addicts here. We happen to know somebody out here who had happened to get involved on one occasion with delivering drugs somewhere. We found out about his wife had told us. He's been in jail for about a year now. He's supposed to get out. Okay. He's supposed to get out because they turned that around. Oh, Frank's hanging out with people who sell drugs. And it's the fucking sick ass motherfuckers. Yeah. But the system is still not done with him. He needs to pay them something like $15,000 to get out. It's like, if you want to leave some states, you got to go through a toll bridge or something, right? New York, all these places now have tolls. You can't even you can't be broke to even leave your state in a car. Did you know that? In most countries, United States anyway, you got the Triborough Bridge. You got how many bridges you got there? Everywhere that has a bridge has a toll on it. I think they have a toll on all the bridges too, right? It's a way to raise revenue, right? So in other words, you can't leave to go a certain place in this country without paying a toll. Without paying a toll. And the same thing happens with the government out here. They want their share. If they're going to work with you, you're going to have to pay your share. That happens with a lot of people. A lot of people. Unless they get their share of something, they're not letting Barry out. He's not going anywhere. So he's adjusting to all this. So he should. He should adjust to it. Well, the only one thing I don't think he's going to adjust to is the searing heat and humidity over there, especially over there. I think that's going to be pretty harsh. Yeah. Regis says actually all the people you'd expect would help Obama have all said he has a long road ahead and will likely stay in prison for a while. But that's Barry's problem. It's over with. That case is over. Now we're working on his girlfriend. The case is over with Barry. That's it. It's done. I get paid from him or I don't. If he doesn't, he stays in prison. It works for me. I have no problem with that whatsoever. It's a win-win situation for me. Win, 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 win. And the great thing about it, I win even more. The fact that he pleaded guilty, he convicted himself. He's called a convicted felon in this country now. I'm not a convicted felon. I didn't commit no crimes like he did. Let's say they were going to deport me. Even if they did, It's not going to be a permanent blacklist or anything like that at all. If they really went along with her complaint, yeah, it's not going to be like Barry's situation at all. Not even close. Barry did a lot of wrong. He had a combination of immigration and 5 charges he pleaded guilty to of cyber libel. A little bit different. No, a lot different, actually. So he's a convicted felon. He will never be able to come to this country ever, which means his relationship is over. See, things have a cataclysmic effect. They do. They do. She put a fucking report on me, but she sealed the deal for herself. Okay? She sealed the deal in that relationship for herself as a definite breakup. Oh, they could be pen pals and all that, but his dick don't reach that far, my friends. His dick don't reach that far. Or they could have sex on camera, whatever they want to do, but his dick doesn't reach that far. He claims he has a big one, but I don't think it's that big. Ain't gonna work. Karma. The karma chameleon strikes again. God, Popeye is wishing so hard. He's praying on his knees that something happens to me dead. And this is this religious dude, right? Do right upon your fellow man. Where's he showing that? I don't think he understands that if you're going to be in a religion, that you gotta abide by the scriptures. What do you think, George, on that? You're right, Jerry. I don't think he's abiding by all these scriptures. I think you're right, George. Those two liars will never see each other again. The tides have turned. If I were her, I'd be concerned with the potential ramifications. Well, we will see, said the blind man. We will see. I know nothing of it. I'm just an innocent bystander. I know nothing of it. If something happens, it's the same thing as Barry. She would have done it to herself. Oh, they'll help her out in the court if she had to go to court. Oh, yeah, they'll put the money out because she has a vagina and doesn't have a 3-piece set. But I wouldn't know, I wouldn't know. I assume she does. But they're not going to help out a guy. They'll help out a woman. They'll help out a woman. Of course. Anything else interesting, folks, before I go here? I need to buy some butter. Call me the butter bean. The butter bean man. Actually, the kidney bean man. Doesn't that make sense? I had a kidney stone. I ate a lot of kidney beans. Isn't that something? The correlation between that's pretty strange. Pretty goddamn strange. But I had a lot of joy listening to Popeye's show. Can you imagine this guy? And they're all talking about it too. And I think they're talking about it on the Discord, I heard too. Popeye goes to, every year he does this to memorialize the people who've served the country. It's a great thing to do. We're not going to knock Popeye for that. He's a little gung ho about it, but you can't knock him for that. But then it's his excuse to turn the show around was to turn the show around and make it about me. As I said, talk about obsession. Oh, and Kevin's awfully quiet from yesterday, last night, and today. He didn't like that pounding I gave him with that little report that somebody sent me on him. How interesting is that? When Popeye talks about the Navy, it's self-serving always. Yeah, I know that. Popeye didn't do much. He was no foxholes the way he was talking about. He acted like he was fighting in the Middle East war and shit. He wasn't fighting anybody but cleaning the fucking toilets, like he did for the Parks Department later on, just like I did. Clean those fucking toilets clean. Pick up those fucking condoms. Take the spray off the pigeon shit off the pit. Plant some trees. Cut some grass. I did it all with pride. An honest job. But he didn't think it was an honest job until I found out, well, wait a minute. He works for the Pox Department after all. And what was he saying about me? Working about the pot like it was a low class job? But he worked for the Pox Department as it turned out. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. All right, Popeye, look, you served. Okay, congratulations. End it. You're proud you served. We're happy you did. You did good for the country. We salute you, Robert Clausen. You can't see me, but I'm saluting you. I'm actually giving you a middle finger, motherfuckers, what I'm really doing, but I'll salute you anyway. You served the country. And all the people who have served our country, we also give them a genuine salute, not a middle finger. We give them a genuine salute. No matter what reason they joined, whether it's for employment or they were just fuck ups that couldn't do anything in their lives, so they joined the service, or because they were really very, what do you call, USA pro people that was pro USA, pro everything. You know, they loved the USA, as we all do. We all love the USA. I grew up there. My parents did. But it's changed. That's the only thing I say about the USA. It's changed. It's not the same place I grew up in. It's not even remotely the same place. So let's dispel the rumors and shit that I don't like veterans. That's so far from the truth. I already did a show on that. I'm not going to go heavily into it. You know, half fucking relatives were all in the military and the police department and all that shit. My father was even in the Navy. So end of that story. I think you know the story on that. How many times I gotta fucking tell it? So that's a bunch of shit. Draft dodger. He's still with the draft dodger shit. How could you be dodging a draft if you weren't drafted? I mean, please explain that to me. Getting to sound like Barry now. Please explain it to me because I'd like to know. Grievous was drunk and admitted, yeah, I heard that. To be molested, you could hear it in his voice, and it really affects him, and he might be the cause of his drinking. Yeah, that usually is. Look what happened with Barry, you know, and what happened with him. And as I said, I don't think that's funny either. Look, I don't like Barry as much as anybody else don't like Barry, obviously so. I don't even have to tell you that. But I think, well, I know, in all honesty, that I don't think that was cool what happened to Barry. I'm human, guys. I'm human after all, believe it or not. I'm actually human. It was a rough deal for Barry. A really rough deal. Nobody asked that. Nobody. Nobody wants to be molested by their parents. So I wanted to spell that kind of thought from your heads if you think that I found it funny. And anyway, I don't find that funny, even for Barry. No, I don't. I don't find that, in fact, funny at all. I wouldn't want to be molested by my parents. That'll leave a scar that you'll never be able to get rid of. Yeah, it brings back horrible memories when, you know, I don't know if you had to discuss it of all places on YouTube. Not on YouTube. You get anything out on here, it's out. They'll use everything against you they possibly can, and they've done that with me 1,000 times over. No, you don't want to get too personal. I made a lot of mistakes with that. And I always tell people that I do YouTubers, I say, look, there's a local guy here too. I've been telling him what was going on, you know. He's trying to earn a couple $100 a month to help him with his rent and all that shit. And I said, look, you're going to be in for a big surprise. You know, it's out there on YouTube. And I'm sure you heard that recording of Jay, and I replayed it for you guys on a short. He's saying that he will tell me all these things that he tells me about me and Gilda to my face. Well, I gave him that invitation again. I said, the challenge is on. The next time you come to Cebu, why don't you say that to me and Gilda, all the shit you talk about me and Gilda to my face? I said, I'm up for the challenge. Just let me know when you're in Cebu. I'll go all the way from here to Cebu and meet him. He don't have to come here. I'll meet him anywhere he wants me to meet him in Cebu, as long as it's in Cebu. Not, you know, yeah, I'm not going to have to travel way outside of Cebu. You see, Apple Man, he had a lot of opportunities in the past to meet people, supposedly to kick their ass or something, but he's never came through on any one of these things. In fact, Jerry got attacked. And who did he get attacked? No. You see how people work on it. No, MJ one time got attacked by, Jerry's friends. Jerry, the coward, had somebody attack MJ that time. It was a couple of years ago. Something like that. They won't do it for themselves. Yeah, Brevis, I'm telling you the truth. From the time I met him, I mean, me and Guild even looked at each other after. Well, we had a little moment when we weren't around him. And I rolled my eyes, and she said something to me in regards to Brevis too. He's over there. He was supporting Barry to this day. Still ain't helping him out with money. He's supposed to be a Bitcoin millionaire. Yeah, right. And my ass don't shine in the sun. But he's not helping him out. But I recorded Brevis that time he was here. I wish I could find that fucking recording. I think it's on my goddamn computer on the, yeah. He was actually saying that he thought, he's speaking about Barry's psychology. He wasn't very nice about it either. And they jump fences. I told you, man. They might be weak in some ways, but I got to be careful of these people's legs because they got the strongest legs in the nation, really. If I'm going to get in a fight with somebody, I got to watch their legs because they've been jumping fences for how many years? They must have some really strong legs. I got some competition out there. I got to build up my legs. I got to do that toot sweet because I got flabby thighs, I think. I need to lose weight in my thighs a little bit. Just get that muscle tone out and get it stronger. I didn't do shit today except some vertical push-ups. I did 100 of them. I didn't get on. It's too fucking hot. And I know I'm making excuses, but I don't feel like moving the machine into the other room and putting it back. It's just a fucking hassle. The air conditioner doesn't go well into the adjoining room, which is the little gym room, small room. I don't have that much of equipment and stuff in there. And of course, I got my Jane Fonda workout stuff. Remember my Jane Fonda stuff? I don't know, man. Some people like Jane Fonda, some people don't. I don't particularly care for either way. But Jane Fonda, especially in her heyday, her little Jane Fonda workout with her little weights did her really good. She was looking fine, like a fine wine. And my understanding, she's still in shape with her little Jane Fonda workout. You don't need to look as good as her. Yeah, let me know about the Flying Circus situation. My condolences to you, Mr. Flying Circus, for your stroke. I don't condone anybody who wishes that kind of stuff on people. Because as I said, I believe in karma too much. Much too much. Maybe more than I should. And what comes around goes around, and I keep that in mind. So I do. Illnesses and shit like that. If a car hit the person, they died, I say, oh, what the fuck? But I don't wish illness on them. That's an act of, you know, metal to flesh. I had nothing to do with that. That's blind faith or something. I don't know. But no, I don't wish people death or anything like that. How callous? You think I fucking callous? No, man. That's not who I am. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for the info, and send my best to Flying Circus via. I'm sure he's still online somewhere. What went on his left side or his right side? I don't know. You get a stroke, it's either your left side or right side. Killed his mom. She had a stroke, and her whole left side is fairly useless. But that old bird sticks in there. She's 89 years old, just recently, not too long ago. In fact, we got 2 birthdays coming up here. Let's call him my stepson because that's what he is. Well, married to Gilda or not, he's my stepson. His birthday is tomorrow. My birthday is on the 31st. And I don't think I'm going to be doing something on camera here with that. I think I got to start, these private celebrations should be basically that private. I can tell you we had a birthday cake, we ate this, we ate that. That's it. I think that should be private. I think that's the way it should be. I think her other daughters, if she could, be coming down here. The older daughter should be coming down here for my birthday, I think. I'm not sure. They're all welcome. My house is their house, literally and figuratively. Hey, I acknowledge it. I knew what I was doing when I bought this house. Nobody put a gun to my head. I'm happy with my decision. I've heard this from a lot of loggers on there too. They were very happy with their decision. They did it for their special someone, and they trusted them enough to do that. Well, unfortunately, I would say the figure, and I don't know what the percentage would be, but it'd be pretty high. Those who got taken by Filipinos is far greater than the guys who met the right woman and bought them a house and stuff like that, and who got fucked over really bad. I hate when I hear that kind of shit. Guild is here for me as long as I have a breath in my lungs. She will be with me till the end. It don't matter. You know, she will be with me till the end. I'm glad about that. People like Kevin and people like himself, it's and Jay, it's just I don't know. Being with your mummy is just not enough. You need a real solid foundation in a life when you're getting old. He's like in his what, about 50ish now, Jay, or somewhere around there. Yeah. Well, you see, that's the thing. That's his problem. It's not mine. And it's Kevin's problem. It's not mine. I mean, we could talk about it, but it's not our problem. It's not my problem. It's not your problem. It's their problem. They didn't give much details on the stroke, other that he will pull through. Okay, that's good that he'll pull through. He's 81. Oh, 81. Yeah, and he got up there. Shit, 10 years I'll be 81. Can you figure that shit out, man? I don't know, man. I don't feel any different when I was till 20. I don't know. I guess different stroke. Oh, sorry. I was going to say different strokes for different folks, but I didn't mean that as a put down. It just came out. Different strokes for different folks. I'm just applying it to myself as I'm saying, well, I don't feel my age. Only time I feel my age is if I get a pain in my lower back, but I feel good. I mean, you hear me. What do I sound like? Am I hurting? Am I sound like I'm in agony or something? Look at my voice. I mean, there's a lot of energy in my voice. We talk like Popeye. Well, I gotta tell you, Frank, Frank, Frank. Let's forget this memorial shit. Let's talk about Frank. He doesn't have an energetic voice at all. You could tell there's no pep in his step. You know what I mean? Well, then he's a mobility scooter anyway. But people are satisfied in their own way. You got Nico, who is in love with his grass. Good companionship, nature. It's nature. Hey, it's nature. It's okay. Hug a tree. Hug a tree. Everybody should hug a tree. Me, you, everyone. Find a big tree and hug the motherfucker. They got feelings too. They're giving you oxygen to breathe. Hug that motherfucking tree. Find a tree. I don't care who you are, where you are. Go outside, find your tree, and give it a fucking hug. Give it a fucking hug. I'm gonna go out there right now. I'm gonna hug a tree. I'm gonna hug a tree right now. A thin one, you know. But I'm gonna hug a tree right now. Hello, tree. Now, if I don't get a bunch of ants on me, well, I'm sorry. I could only use one arm. Right? I'm gonna hug the tree. All right. See, I'm hugging it. After 100 ants just got on me, I'm just joking. I hugged my tree. You need to hug a tree too. A bush. I don't care. It's putting oxygen. Do something right, folks. Do something meaningful. Okay. You can do. I know you be. I trust in people. Go out and hug a goddamn tree. Popeye, get your mobility scooter. Go hug a tree. Come on. You'll do it. Hug a tree. You'll feel better about yourself. If the tree releases any sap on you, it's probably trying to say something to you, like "fuck off." I'll tell you, I got a million of them. Let's see. Big Kev posting you and your ex on Facebook. Jolly Bee drinking. He's a Jolly Bee drinking Coca-Cola. You go, boy. Eat that Jolly Bee, Big Kev. Drink that Coca-Cola. Do us all a fucking favor, man. He's never gonna lose all his weight, man. So what's about? He's too timid to come on YouTube and challenge the information that I put out on him. He got too embarrassed, so he's resorting to Facebook. I don't go to his Facebook page, so I don't really care, Kev. If you're listening, I don't really care. I don't go to your Facebook page. I'm not interested. Region says, "Last my ass." So different strokes. Wow, you're brutal. Different strokes for different folks, man. That's just a terminology. That's just a statement. I'm not pertaining this to Flying Circus's stroke. As I told you, I'm very sympathetic for him. Let's see, tree hugger. That's a very Pacific Northwest thing to do. Well, I lived in the Pacific Northwest for a quarter of a century, or maybe a little longer, maybe 26 years. I'm thinking 25. Yeah, that's more than a lifetime to some people. So I'm kind of a Northwesterner slash New Yorker because the two longest places I lived, obviously, was New York. I was born and raised. Stayed there about 27, 28, I don't know. 27, I don't know. Then, of course, I lived in the Pacific Northwest. A great, by the way, Pacific Northwest. And that doesn't mean Seattle. I mean, Pacific Northwest is a great place, but no, Oregon is not. That's where all the loonies are in Oregon, in Portland. Do you remember the show on TV, Portlandia? That was no joke. That was no joke. It was cheaper to live in Oregon in a lot of these small towns. A lot of people moved to Portland. All the funny boys, all the crazies moved to fucking Portland, man. They're more crazies per capita, whatever, than anywhere. And that show was actually really emphasizing this craziness. They are bizarre, weird. Never mind the purple hair. That's just the beginning. They are out there in La La Land in Portland. They still are. But when that weekly show came on, I've only seen a couple of episodes. I couldn't handle it anymore, really. They felt that they had to adhere to the values or whatever that show, whatever it was depicting, and they felt that they had to keep that on, and they did. I heard they're still crazy there. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, man. Yeah, I got, it's like this shield. It's like a veil. And I got used to it for the most part. And the actual opposite thing happened. I told you guys about Washingtonians. They're so used to that gray. And here's what happens as a Washington. I'm a Washingtonian, really. As the summer comes along, and there's going to be a certain stretch of time where it gets really sunny and hot. When the sun starts coming out, everybody and their grandmother, they got their kids in the strollers, the grandmother's taking the grandkids out in the strollers to the parks. Seattle area, it comes alive like you wouldn't believe it. It's a very busy place to begin with, but it really comes alive in the summer. More activities, more athletics. But it's like this with Washingtonians. Okay, we enjoy. It's the same thing as too much snow somewhere, but same thing. Let me explain. Okay, the sun is great. Let's go out and recreate. Let's bring the kids out there. But if the sun lasts too long all summer and it gets too hot, they don't want it. They want to go back to that protective gray veil of a sky, like you get in Alaska a lot, a lot. They're similar. And Vancouver is like that too in Canada. They some of the biggest sunglasses sales were in Washington State and not in California, if you could believe that. I don't know what the score is now, but and your eyes become sensitive. And I'll be honest with you, I've got sensitive eyes. You see, I wear sunglasses a lot. It's not a thing to look cool. The glare of the computer when I especially was doing that, and my eyes used to irritate. My eyes are very sensitive. So it's not like a thing I'm looking cool with sunglasses on, trying to hide bags under my eyes. You don't know what I look like. And it certainly doesn't look like the edited version of me. That's for damn sure. Sure, I got some bags under my eyes, but Not like they edited me to be. I would have permanent glasses on there. I would definitely have surgery if that was the case. It is what it is, man. I'm not trying to hide it, and I'm not trying to be cool. Okay, none of the above. Just so you know. Just so you know. Okay, but yeah, it's I liked it in a way. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it, and a lot of the filming and movies go on in places like Washington State and Canada, especially Vancouver, and because of the even lighting, and it requires less lighting effects. Because and you can't. The only way you could film somebody in the sun, it would look horrible on a movie. And of course, they have diffusers. Some of them are made out of fabric, and basically, what it does is fills in the light where there's going to be a lot of horrible shadow that'll make people look very ugly. Like on the Seinfeld episode, his girlfriend was good looking as shit. But when Seinfeld would sit her at the restaurant table or in any situation in the car where the lighting wasn't even, she looked, like a witch. And Seinfeld couldn't handle it. That was a funny episode, by the way. But yes, just a little information on that. Yes, there's very even, very diffuse type of lighting in Washington State and Vancouver, and then even on the East Coast, up in Toronto and all those areas, it's kind of like that too. I've never been to Toronto, but I personally been to Vancouver and I've been to Victoria, British Columbia. So I've been there and I know that. I kind of liked it myself. I actually kind of liked it. I got used to it. I got used to it. And I didn't like if it was raining a lot though, so I couldn't go anywhere. It just made after a while. I'll be really honest with you. You didn't mind the veil of gray up there, because it diffuses the sun. You don't get a bad sunburn. It was a good place to live, except in the summer. Oh yeah, we've had months where it's sun after sun after sun after sun, and really hotter than the son of a bitch. Oh yeah, it gets like that in Washington State. Don't get me wrong, it does. It does. We had days like that were hotter than shit, man. But for the most part, it's like this nice even veil, diffused light. It's nice. And the trees and the colors. If it was a deciduous type of tree, the colors would show out really nicely with that nice gray skies, diffused lighting. So it had to be a deciduous tree that would turn color and so forth, and you get all that nice color out. And it really the contrast of the diffusion of the sky, and the colors would show out a lot better, and it was less reflection coming from the sun off the leaves, and just it was beautiful. The rivers, the streams, the rapids, beautiful, man. The Pacific Northwest is a beautiful, beautiful freaking place, man. I think it surpasses Hawaii by a lot. I think it does. Of course, Hawaii is just beaches. There's mountains too. It's beautiful. I'm not downgrading Hawaii, but if I had to say, if I think about it now, I would have to say it. I would say the Pacific Northwest was probably the most beautiful. Not Seattle area. It sucks. Horrible. But go up in the mountains. It is just gorgeous. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. These small towns, and these rivers, and little small houses by the rivers, and little communities they have out there. And of course, it's almost like a Western movie in a way. I mean, you got these small taverns out there. And yes, in small towns, they all know about each other. They certainly do. And they get into fights. They drink a hell of a lot in the small towns in Washington State that used to be lumber towns, and a lot of them have disappeared, the lumber industry. And I will going to tell you, I've been to all these small towns, spent time in them, and I will tell you, they are dangerous. A lot of criminals are living in these small towns, and they live in little structures. They're off the grid, hiding from the cops and all that shit. Drug havens, even out in the mountains. It's horrible. But I gotta go. Yeah, when people start complaining of the weather, the season changes. Yeah, that kind of happens. Okay, well, I hope it's been another interesting and enlightening show. Say hello to Big Kevin for me, and tell him not to be afraid to put a show on. I won't bite him. I already exposed him for the shithead that he is, for the low life scumbag he is. I don't need to do it more than once. Everybody knows what he did now. Everybody knows about a lot of people on here now. All this shit happening in 1 week, getting, Flying Circus is having a stroke. Kevin gets exposed, a lot of exposure for Jay, exposure a little bit with people that know on Fazio, exposure on Don C. I mean, what more can a man want? What more can a man want? Good shoe. It sure is, man. It sure is. And God bless you. God bless you, my son. Go in peace. Here we go. We got some pancit, got some lentils, got some chicken. It's okay. Big cabin, big bust. Well, at least he admitted to all his crimes. Couldn't deny it after all. How could he? Okay. Oh, just kind of put something together here. Hi, Barry. Barry's been on. I guess they're letting him use his phone. He's supposed to be, calling his lawyer or something, but he sneaks on there to make these lame little comments. Still laughing at you, Barry. I'm still laughing at you. So laughing. Call me any name you want, but look what you've been through the past several years. Yeah, little lentils, seasoned, of course. Some pancit from the restaurant, a good restaurant, and a little bit of chicken. I could do it. I could take the chicken, mix it in with the lentils. I could do that too for other flavor. I do that. I do. Oh, yeah. I get creative. You got to. Out here. Then I put the lentils with the, put the chicken in it. Put the chicken in it. For more flavor. There we go. Okay. Now we're talking. Oh, a little bit of skin. We want to put that to the side. Well, Kevin's show was kind of a big bust, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, we expected him to come on. Well, at least he admitted his crime. But that was a long time ago. Well, still crimes. Still crimes. Yes, Kevin, I most certainly did send some information to 3 different countries: Vietnam, Philippines, and, of course, Thailand. How do you like that? I told you, keep on busting my balls. I'm gonna bust yours in a big fucking way. That's just the way it's going to be. I should have came on a little bit later, but that's all right. Chicken, little pancit, lentils. Seasoned just right. Oh, man. Lentils, pancit, chicken. It's all right. It's all good. Kevin, that was a lousy show. It was almost as bad as Popeye's. I knew you'd come on and try to rebuttal everything. But he couldn't deny it. That information kind of brought you into character. Didn't deny it. Because he couldn't. Right, Kevin? Couldn't deny it if he tried. Now I'm going to mix the lentils in with the pancit. Told you I get creative. Flavor. Hey, Applejack Milby. Cabot is just doing shows. But of course he is. This is his whole M.O. Of course. Look, if there's drama out there, he wants to take advantage of the drama. Well, you know, let him enjoy his life now. He don't got that many years. He doesn't. I guess Flying Circus supposedly had a stroke. How would anybody know? Unless he's still got on YouTube after a stroke, just to tell people, probably. Boy, that's addiction. Oh, yeah. Big E is Big Kevin's coach. There's no question about that. There's none at all. But Kevin can't do it on his own. He don't know what to say on his show. I mean, he really don't. Kevin does not know what to say on his show. He needs to be coached. And he actually sort of admitted that he wasn't all there because of the bolo knife incident. He actually, if I listened carefully enough, he made some little innuendo to that. He did. In other words, he's admitting he's pretty slow because of the bolo knife. I can understand. Okay. Chicken. Just right. Not too bad. Yeah, I heard, I don't know, about 50% of Kevin's show. I know the key players were there, of course. Let's see. People need to find a hobby or job or get off YouTube. Abo Cabin looks off to the side and is reading what to say. You know what? You just actually could be right on that. It's really sad how his followers are arguing over wrenches. Oh my God. Over wrenches. Boy, I don't give nobody wrenches. It's so fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Give somebody a wrench and then they turn on you and they start blocking people. It happens every time. That's smart. He figures if he gives somebody a wrench, it's a very special thing, and they'll donate to him. I'm glad Kevin put that show on, though. I'll tell you why. It just fortifies what I did with the immigration offices. It just fortifies it for me. Absolutely. I feel better. Well, I knew what kind of show he was going to do. He's going to defend himself. What's he going to do, you know? Apple Man hates my name. He keeps timing me out just for saying hi. Well, what do you expect him to do? He's the one and only Abo Man. Hey, I told him I accept the fucking challenge. He said that I'm not going to say anything to his face. Well, I gave him the challenge in the okie dokie. No acknowledgement to that, but then again, I've given that to him before. And he's real quiet about it. Shit, I'll challenge Jay anytime, any day. Anytime, any day. Maybe I can finally prove myself on here that I'm not somebody to fuck with. by kicking his fucking ass all over the sidewalk or dirt road, whatever the fuck it is. And I'll show some infrastructure. I'll show him some infrastructure. My fucking foot up his fucking ass. Abbo, okay, this isn't like your avatar. Oh, okay. Well, look at my thumbnail. And who do you think that is? Take a look. Can you see my... Oh! See my thumbnail? And who do you think that is? Well, that guy looks old as the fucking hills. Don C. That was a fairly recent photograph, too. My thumbnails show up, or... I don't know what you see on the screen other than what I'm showing you here, but... let's see, hold on. Is it going to be on here? No. No. Oh, our boy Barry was on there. He made a couple of lame comments to me, of course. Barry got on. I guess they're taking him off his leash every now and then. He does the same thing. He'll sneak something on it. He won't put a show on, it's too obvious. He won't do that. He will not put a show on. Nope. I wonder if the boy's losing any weight. But then again, he's working it. Work it, Barry, work it. Work those muscles, Barry. Work it. He's going to have to work it a long time. If he thinks all that fat's going to turn to muscle, I just don't think so. Look at that face, only a mother could love, or not. Not. He looks like a fucking abortion. A fucking abortion. Kevin still has a fucking fat head. I was looking at one of his photographs. Did you see his daughter? How fat she is? Let me tell you something. She is a spitting image of Kevin. You know that's his kid. Did you also know a grown male child that also has a little bit of a rap sheet? Did you guys know that too? I guess it must run in the family. All in the family. He's never going to give shit to his daughter. He's never going to see her. When he drops dead, then I'm going to his funeral. So let's see. We had Popeye's show, which was a total embarrassment. Good day today. Popeye's show, total embarrassment. And why was it embarrassment? If you didn't see it, he did a special Memorial Day show, for a memorial for the veterans and all that. But no sooner did he do that, he just switched and turned it into a Rank on Frankie show. He can't help himself. Damn, I must really get under his skin. Really. I must really get under his skin. Be a perfectly good show for him, and talking about, recognizing the veterans for Memorial Day, right? You think so? Oh, he was talking about all this shit, that he was in the foxholes and in Afghanistan and all this other shit, and he didn't do any of that shit. He wasn't on no battlefield anywhere. False valor, man. That's the only thing that pissed me. It's the false valor shit. False valor. Look at that goofy looking motherfucker. Well, he hates my guts, I'll tell you that. Oh, he certainly does. The feeling is mutual. Hey, Jay, does this look familiar at all? Jay, does this look familiar at all? Does this look familiar, Jay? I bet it does. I bet it does. I'm sure it hits home. Right, Jay. Abbo hates my avatar. His best for... Oh, I don't know what your avatar is. Yeah, right. Barry's taller than me. You can't make something happen that's just not there, you know. You can't make something happen. He can't suddenly grow 5 inches, you know. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. He looks like one of these creeps in a gangster movie or something. I don't know. The bald head, the sunglasses, the cigarette in his hand. I don't know, man. People are dropping like flies, or close to dropping. Now I'm hearing that Flying Circus had a stroke, and I wished him the best. Of course I did. Of course. It's the right thing to do. It's absolutely the right thing to do. Show you what a man I am. Oh, okay. I reread that. Not much to say here. Just had a little bit of a dinner here early. I tend to eat early. She waits later to eat because I like eating early. She doesn't like eating early. Because I actually skipped the lunch today, so I can pig out a little bit tonight. I'm going to compensate. You don't need a lunch. Actually, the best thing you can do is not have a dinner. This way you're really fasting, because according to what time you eat dinner. So if you don't eat all night, you're going to be sleeping all night, and you're fasting. By the time you have breakfast in the morning, that kind of works out. You don't like your album. He doesn't like that avatar. Yeah, I hear you. Well, Jay, I'm going to keep on repeating it till it goes through your head. You got many options if you come to Cebu. You can come down here, see me. You can meet me in Cebu somewhere. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm not going to hold anybody's hand. Come alone. Don't bring a gang. No cameras, nothing. Well, wait a minute. We have to prove something, though, that I kicked your fucking ass. How are we going to prove that? I got to at least get some pictures of your fucking face all bludgeoned. I got to have that. No, but then they could use that for evidence. I don't know. We got kind of a sticky situation here, don't we? Boy, I'd love to see his ass get kicked, whether it's me or somebody else. I really would. Knock some sense into that boy. Look, I go back a long time on YouTube. Don't forget that. I've seen and witnessed all the skirmishes he had with people on there. He never met anyone to get into a little scuffle with them. He ran the other way. He ran the other way. Again, somebody wrote on Popeye's show that I was challenging Brevis and Ricky and who else? And Nick Fisher? No. Nick Fisher would kick my ass. I'm pretty sure of it. I know my limitations. But for the rest of the brood, you just never know. But let's not talk about violence. Oh, deplorable thing to talk about, violence. I don't like talking about violence. I deplore it. Absolutely deplore it. These cats are coming around too much. They're going to have to, Mother Nature to take care of them, because the more you feed the cats, the more they're going to come around, It's one of those situations. And I'm generous with the food and all that, but, they're just going to keep on reproducing and come back, and they're all going to be crying out there every time it's lunch, with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're out there crying. And God, I've helped them out for years, but I think they're seeing this as a turf, and, you know how that goes. They're going to come back for more as long as you're going to feed a cat. Just like Barry. As long as you feed Barry, give him money, he's going to come around for more. I mean, it goes like that with humans, too. Yeah. You guys are getting boring here. There's no dialogue. I'm just going to get off here. I'm not really big on monologues. You think I am, but I'm really not. But I could say Kevin made another fool out of himself today. He was struggling to find the words to try to find some kind of a hateful statement to me. But he admitted he did all that shit. The guns, bootlegging liquor and all that shit. What a fine specimen of a man he is, huh? Fine specimen. Fine young cannibal. He still won't tell anybody the truth about the real incident of the bolo knife in his head. Well, he just admits that he got it in his head, but his old stories. But we're going to see what immigration thinks. We try our luck and spin the wheel. Round and round she goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Or roll the dice. You get snake eyes or lucky seven. Yes, Kevin, I absolutely did, with all honesty. I did write to 3 different immigration agencies. It's up to them if they want to investigate you. I'm just doing my part. That's all. Just doing my part. Like you do yours. And you're kind of following, I have to tell you, you're kind of following in Barry's path. I know you're untouchable. You think you're untouchable because you're in Thailand. Well, what if I had to go to Thailand? What if I had to get out of the country? Maybe I'll choose Thailand. Oh, maybe. Make your fucking life miserable. Make your life miserable. Oh, I can do it in many ways. I could talk to the neighbors. I could talk to everybody around there. I could say a whole lot of things about you, and you're not going to be very comfortable. Well, it's like this, Kevin. You like to kind of pep up people about me and incite all this crap on me. Well, why can't I do the same? I mean, touche. Why can I not do the same? I can make your life so goddamn miserable in Thailand that you're going to wish you never left America. Do you think I have the capability of doing that, Kevin? I think you do. I think you know. I think you know very well I do. Don't you, Kevin? I'm very resilient. I'm persistent. Absolutely. Proved it. So I guess I got to prove myself more. I want Jay to meet up with me. I'm not going to run away. Not going to be any police there, Jay. Nothing like that. Nothing. And if you think you could beat the shit out of me, then go for it. Let's see what this old man, and Kevin, again, Kevin, you're like 63 years old. Stop calling me an old man. You're making an ass of yourself like you normally do. You're not exactly a teenager, Kevin, okay? You're really not. Try putting a mirror in that apartment and take a good look at yourself. You're not a good-looking man. You look weird, you act weird, you talk weird. And when a woman sees you, it's like, oh, what's this dodo? Oh, he must be one of those special ed people, whatever they call them in Thailand. Typical naive American. Well, like I said, I'm no superhero. No, that I'm not. But you know what? I'm willing to give something a try if I had to. And I wouldn't be running away, I guarantee you that. I only expect one thing, and one thing only. That he raises his fist first, and that'll give me license to do whatever I have to do. But I need a witness for that, though. That's the only problem. I'll throw Gilda in. She'd like to say a few things to him herself. Maybe she'd like to slap him around like a bitch. And yeah, you've been pushing it, Kevin. And I tell you what happened with Barry, Kevin. He pushed me. What happened to him? He got himself in a world. Push me all you want. Keep on pushing. Talking about Gilda. Keep on doing it. It's okay. I could listen to it. Like I haven't heard it before. Just give me enough ammunition. That's all you need. I did that with Barry. I'll do it with you. I don't care what country you're in. As long as you're in Southeast Asia. I'll take care of business. One way or the other. Oh, no physical threat. I wouldn't do that. Oh, no. Unless you raise a fist to me. I don't care how fucking big you are. You're not in good shape, Kevin. You're not in good shape. You're like Humpty Dumpty. Good one for him. Humpty Dumpty. You know what? I like that one. Humpty Dumpty. Had a fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. Yeah, I like that name. Humpty Dumpty. That's his new name. Humpty Dumpty. Good one. Good one. Let's just use that. Humpty Dumpty. Everybody deserves a nickname. It's an affectionate name. It's not terrible. I used to watch it. There's a Humpty Dumpty on cartoons. So Jay running his mouth, everybody running their mouth. Oh God, Popeye's just hoping that something happens bad to me. Did you see that? Is it on there now? Do you see that thumbnail on there now? Of Don C? That guy's white as a ghost. His beard, his hair, his yellow teeth. That guy's supposed to be, what, younger than me? No, come on. I mean, is my thumbnail showing? I don't know what you see on here, really. But he looks extraordinarily older than his age. And I don't think he's my age. He's looking at least 10 years older. At least 10 years older. He's got to be, if not 12 or 14. He looks a lot older. Everybody gets so upset. Take a chill pill, man. Well, you could put information about me out there, but I can't do it about them? Nah, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Kuya John! Kuya John! I see the priest from the orphanage. What priest from the orphanage? Are you seeing things, Kuya? Why don't they like you? I think you have a sense of humor. I don't know, Kuya John. I like some of your comments on the show, but I don't know. You was kind of supporting him a little bit, weren't you? Weren't you kind of supporting Big Kevin? Yeah, you better come out with it. You better come out with it. All the trolls were there. Whenever Kevin goes on, jingle, jingle. You need to buy me my food so I can get fat and 500 pounds again. Because I'm not active and I still drink alcohol, which is highly loaded with calories. Help yourself, Kevin. Please help yourself. Drink that Coca-Cola till it goes out of style. Eat that fatty cholesterol food, buddy. You got my go-ahead to do it. Please do. You don't need my permission, but tell you what. Do it for Uncle Frank, okay? Don C. is a volunteer. Oh, at the okay, that's your reference. What a nice man he is to be a volunteer at the orphanage. Maybe he was orphaned. Always something deeper in their past that we just don't know about. Perhaps he was a little orphan boy. Little orphan Annie, little orphan Donnie. Kevin, your show sucked today, by the way, and so did yours, Popeye. Can you believe what Popeye did? Honoring these wonderful vets that served America. Lied about what he did in the service to make it worse. Then, abruptly, took a turn in the middle of the stream and started attacking me. He had to use that opportunity to get the people in there to do a rank out Frankie time. Kevin talks bad about me. That's cool, you're talking. I got banned last show. I think I saw you did get banned. Yeah. What happened to Indian John? Okay? You remember the guy who was a Native American John? He was always giving money. Always giving money to Big Kevin. What happened to him? I know you're not that person. He bailed out on Kevin too, I guess. But yes, Barry was using his phone. He sure was. Probably a certain time to give him a certain limited time to make a phone call to a loved one. Who would that be? I got to think about that. Me? Or call his lawyer. I don't know. What is his lawyer going to do for him? It's beyond help on that part. Yeah. Oh, and I'm sure he looks forward to getting on that phone. He needs to know. He needs to know what is the flavor of the day. You know, what is going on YouTube? He needs to know. He needs to know. He's got to do some catch up. Because when he had free realm of his phone over in Mandawi, he didn't miss a trick what's going on. He went to everybody's show, who's talking about him, catch up on all the gossip. Oh, he loved it. He loved it. It's killing him now, especially he don't got his nice little console there to play his games. I'm sure that's ripping his world apart. Oh, Quisa, he made me a mod for going on his show. Next thing I know, I'm banned. Well, that's what he does. That's what Barry did too. I only do that in special occasions. Okay? But Barry, if nobody agreed with him, his philosophy, he banned you. Same thing with Big Kevin. If anybody don't donate, it was like Fazio. If anybody didn't donate to me, he'd block you. Oh, yeah. Big Ego controls everything. He's like his employer. Of course he is. Big Ego not only gives him money on a super chat, he gives him money on the side too, and he's also helping out Barry's pseudo girlfriend. Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. We don't even have to think about that. He just don't want people to know, other than sending him a $20 thing on, $19.99. Sending Kevin money. It's usually about $19.99. I don't know why don't you just say $20. I don't understand why it's $19.99. He's gonna watch that one penny, right? Yeah, apparently so. Boy, it's hot in this room without air conditioning. I gotta eventually go in the other room. I'm in my bedroom, and I'll tell you what, it's humid. It says it's supposed to rain about 6 p.m. here, so we'll see if it's gonna rain. Might cool things down a little bit. It's just making it more humid. No, you're right. Air conditioning is important to me, but I didn't have air conditioning in Hawaii. I survived it. Ceiling fan. You get used to it. I would get used to it too. It's just a fan. We've had some really hot weather also in Hawaii. Not like here, but we had some pretty hot weather. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big Ego controls everything on there. Him and his wallet. And he had a few things to say about me, too. He always does. He never shuts his fucking mouth. Fuck you, Biggie. Fuck you. Fuck you and the wallet you wrote in on. Told you. How big is that guy? He's like fucking 6'8" or something, right? Am I wrong? They don't last very long. No, sir, they don't. Look it up on Google. You don't believe me? You don't have to believe me at all. The most extraordinarily tall people, they get a lot of problems. Don't drop it like fucking flies. Give it another year, or probably lose 2 more people. Now, of course, I'm not wishing that, because I love all these guys. But Kevin, that's a busted show. You busted yourself by admitting all that. Oh, there, I admitted it. Yeah, but that was like a long time ago. Well, why did you do that in the first place? Why were you carrying an illegal gun with you? Who were you ripping off with that gun? Maybe now we know why you got that fucking bowl of night in your head. Because you were a pissant. Drunk as a skunk all the time. Of course you got into skirmishes. But look at your life now, Big Kevin. Take a good look at your life right now. How many years did you spend in your aunt's basement? Oh, that's an accomplishment. Quite an accomplishment. He finally got out, but what did he prove? What did he do? Did he better his life in any way? No, he didn't. Again, he's chasing his tail. Thailand to Vietnam, Vietnam back to Thailand. Make up your mind, Kev. If it ain't going to work out with you in one country, chances are it ain't going to work out with you in another country, son. Get a clue. You are you. And that says a whole lot. It must suck to be you, Big Cabin. You're always going to be the Big Cabin. Why don't you take your shirt off sometime and show us all that fucking flubber from the 300 or 275 pounds you lost? Show us. Son of Flubber. They called him Flubber, Flubber. Quick as lightning, everybody can see. The flubber is he. They called him Flupper, Flupper, Flupper in Thailand. What else can he be called but Flupper he is? They called him Flupper, Flubber. I've never been fat in my life. I don't intend to. Shoot me if I get fat, please. You'll get pleasure. That's one thing I don't plan on. Yeppers, we're going to up that protein. Let's not get enough protein per day. Watch them muscles grow. I'm sure Barry got excited, though, to get a couple of comments on his show today. Probably made his whole day. And I hear the weather in his part of town was really grueling. Grueling. How many rats have you chased away, Barry? How many crawled on you overnight? How many, Barry? Did you do things hillbilly style? Did you kill them and fry them up for protein? Because I know you don't like that soggy rice with the vegetables. And you don't like fish, so you're in a bad spot, bud. You're in a real bad spot. And I gotta go. Okay. Movie time! Okay, buckaroos and buckaronis out there. Always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Listen, birthday is coming up. We're going to have a celebration. Just you and I, we're going to have a celebration for my birthday. Maybe a day before. I don't know. Yeah, that's right. Living another year. As far as I'm concerned, my birthday already came. It's already close to the end of the month, so whatever. But to be official about it, it's not even official, really, because I was born on the 31st, but the 31st here is not going to be the 31st in America, so you know how that works. Okay, I got to go. Kevin, you suck. Suck mine, Kevin. No, I wouldn't give you that pleasure. Well, what do we have here? Let's play this. Of course, you know it's going to be upside down or something, and you may not be able to read this, but I'm going to read it off for you after you see this. This was sent to me. Very interesting about Big Kevin and regarding to his family. How interesting is this? Would you believe that Kevin is actually Eskimo? Oh my God. Listen to this, guys. You have to listen to this. You're going to hear me talk about this in a second. You're probably not able to read this very well. You know, Mr. Technical here. I make no excuses about it. But here we go. If you could read this screenshot.
Kevin's an Eskimo? Okay, have to read this, folks. Okay, in case you want, this is somebody wrote me here. It says, yes, Discord trolls confirm that is his son. Yeah, there was some reports in about his son. Kevin has a son that gets in trouble. We thought it was an error when our search showed two with the same name, different ages in Alaska, which is why we dug further for court records, and we found his son. Those who know him claim Kev is actually from an Eskimo tribe? What? That his ex there was a crazy Eskimo bitch. She let one child die. They also know that he was a cook, serving the miners. This is all sounding real. I heard him say that. Majority on Discord support you. Your haters have dwindled down to 2 or 3, who seems like Jay and the Copycat channel. They realize Don C, Fat E, Ricky, and the rest are all asshole liars. 2 new combat vets on Discord are claiming Popeye is another Johnny Warrior after Popeye's insulting veterans Memorial Day livestream and claimed he participated in war, saw terrible combat. They're also calling him out for stolen valor and will ask him to show his Navy combat medal given to all the Navy who engaged in combat during his next live stream. A medal you could ask him to show and prove he is another stolen valor Johnny Warrior wannabe. That Popeye will have this medal if his lies are true. Wow. As the information comes in here, folks. Holy crap. Holy shit on a shingle, man. Boy, what a week this has been. Okay, so...
Oh my God, what is going on? Gotta be honest with you, somebody just sent me a recent picture of Big E and Kevin together. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now, I don't mean any offense. And please, I don't want anybody at all to take any offense to this at all. I'm just curious. What is this commonality that everybody has on here? Well, a lot of people, certainly. Jerry's going bald. And Kevin is bald as a pool cue. And Big E, there's a picture on my thumbnail, and I don't mean anything by it, and please don't, I don't want anybody to take it offensively. I really don't. I mean well, because I'm concerned. You know, I do health shows on here, but I was sent a photograph that's on my thumbnail that I have to share with you, because I said, wow, I knew Big E needed to lose weight, but I didn't know he was that big. If you go look at my thumbnail, you're going to see a photograph there of Big E and Big Kevin together. Then you go down the line, you find Barry also being bald. And holy shit. Big E has a little strip of hair in the middle of his head. That's why he wears a cap a lot. And don't take this offensively, Big E. Please don't. I don't mean it offensively. I really don't. But somebody just sent me a photograph. It's on my thumbnail, because if you don't believe me, then you have to check it out. I said, what the fuck? No wonder Big E has not been putting himself on camera. And I don't mean anything by it, Big E. Don't take it so offensively. I'm just, to be frank with you, that's all I can be is frank. I'm real curious about this. I'm very curious about it. You got Barry. You got Big E. You got Kevin. Jerry's going bald. Okay? What the fuck is going on? I want to know. I really not want to know what the fuck. You know, the obesity, too. I said, holy shit. No wonder Big E is doing 20,000 step walks, but then he goes into a fucking restaurant or he drinks or something. And I mean, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? You got to follow the plan. You got to follow the guidelines. This is some serious shit, because when you're also tall, and you know, I talk about this all the time. When you're also tall, you got kind of that working against you too, and to have all that weight on. So, you know, I do health shows. I talk about different things, right? Do I not? Honestly, right? You know that. And this is just really a genuine concern. That's all it is. I don't know how much hair Mick Fisher has, because I really never seen him without a cap on. So I can't really say anything about Mick Fisher. I've never seen him without a cap on. So for now, I'm going to cross out Mick Fisher. But I will tell you, and then Jay always wears a hat, because Jay is going bald too. They're all balding. And they're all overweight. Even Barry gained overweight. What the fuck is going on here? This is like you're trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I mean, what is really going on here? Is this like a joke? I mean, like, seriously? I did not know the seriousness of the situation going on here. I honestly didn't know. I didn't know. I got these pictures sent to me. And I told you, people send me stuff all the time. They do. And I was like astounded. Big E, man, dude, seriously, man to man, person to person, human to human. Man, it's one thing to have a good time and all that shit, man, but too much of a good time is not doing you any good. And I'm being polite about it. I'm not being an asshole. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Jesus Christ, is this the bald man's convention, the fat voice convention? Hey, look at Barry, no hair. Jerry's losing his hair. That's why he wears a hat. Okay? Kevin, obviously. Big E, I didn't know. He has a little, tiny little alfalfa strip of hair in the middle of his head. He's bald. I didn't know that because he always wears a hat. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being bald. Like Seinfeld said, there's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with being bald. But holy shit, I just got in my email. I'm watching some stupid teenage movie. I don't know. Another thing to do with a prom. Oh, God, that's another subject. Proms. What are they really all about? We're going to cover that sometime. What are they really all about? Okay. That'll be a good subject. The coming of age, exploring your sexuality. You're in between being a teenager and an adult, and it's a very awkward time of age. We're going to do a show on that sometime. Very awkward age. Discovering your sexuality and all this stuff. A really good topic we're going to come up with, but let's kind of approach this topic. And I don't mean any offense by it, so please don't take it to be offensive. We're not trying to be offensive at all, but I noticed a similarity on here. Besides having a bunch of fucking psychotics on here, I'm seeing another similarity, and I'm like astounded by it. No wonder Big E hardly ever goes on camera these days, because he gained a lot of weight. But Big E, that's okay, man. It happens. You know, we got used to seeing Kevin at 500 pounds. No wonder you're doing your 20,000 steps a day, but why is it? I don't understand it. Maybe you could teach me something, because I don't have a weight problem, but holy shit, dude. Dude, can you guys see this on my thumbnail? Go look at my thumbnail. As I said, I don't mean any offense from this at all. Barry's bald as a cue ball, you know. Jerry's losing his hair. Fucking toupee. Big E, huge face. Balding head. No wonder he wears a cap. Obviously, Kevin is bald as a cue ball and is overweight. What is this commonality that's going on here? What am I missing? Have I not put this all together before? I was astounded by this email. I was astounded. Damn, say all you want, but brothers, let me tell you something. You got a lot to work on before you try to work on me, if you know what I'm saying by working on me. No offense again intended. I'll keep on saying it. No offense at all. Now, I've never seen Mick without his hat on, so I can't really say. It's a big club out there, man. Bald and obese. I mean, like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Well, we all knew that Barry here was bald as a cue ball, but I didn't know Big E was bald like that. Why he wears his hat all the time. I understand, Eric, I do. And as I photo, there's a little tiny strip of hair in the middle of his head. And is posing in a picture near Big Kevin, who's totally bald. They're both overweight. I'm saying, wow, we found a commonality on here after all. We found a commonality. Wow, man. Wow. See, no wonder people hide behind a camera. Yeah, okay. We know now. We know now. I guess the boys have got to stick together in the Bald and Obese Club of America. BBC. OA. The Bald and Obese Club of America. I'm just astounded. Go check my thumbnail out if you think I'm lying to you. Holy shit on a shingle. It's alarming. Now, we all know the statistics, especially in the United States. And obesity is a huge issue. And, you know, you could hand it over. And, you know, another thing, too, if you got the money to spend, you got to eat, joy, and be merry. That's what a lot of people live by. But sometimes they joy and be merry. You think? I think. Thank goodness I ain't got no obesity problem, and I sure as hell ain't losing my hair. That's one thing I could guarantee. My hair grows back thick and fat. I get a haircut 1 week, and 2.5 weeks later, I gotta get a haircut again. Even the guy that cuts my hair says, "Man, your hair grows really fast." I said, "I know, you just cut my hair a couple of weeks ago." But I'm not worried about that, and I'm not worried about obesity at that level. I'm just not worried about it. But yeah, I just got an email from an individual. And I don't know, maybe they're passing this around on Discord or something. I really don't know. Maybe that's where this is all coming from, somebody from Discord. Of course, they don't give me their real name, whoever sends me this stuff, but they do send me some interesting stuff. God, all that juicy stuff we found out about Kevin, that he really is a fucking loser after all, in case anybody ever had any question about it. I don't think there's any questions anymore. Anybody want to disagree with me? Do it anytime you want. You don't have to do it on my show. But I guess I'm just proving a point. People love to talk about me, but Jesus Christ. Look at these people. Look at these people. My God, Magnum. Whew. God, the list is big. And there's more people on that list with the big chubby bellies. There's a bigger list than that. Rich Blind, too, has a big belly. Unbelievable, man. When I've seen those pictures, unbelievable. On the thumbnail. You should check out my thumbnail on the show, a picture of Big E and Kevin together. I never knew that. I knew Big E was having some weight problems, but his head is huge. Hardly has any couple of strips of hair on his head. I guess that's why he wears a cap all the time. And it's juxtaposed against Big Kevin, who is as bald as you can get. Then you've got Barry, bald. You got another couple of people on there that are balding, and that's why they wear a cap. Shit, I got nothing to hide. I got a full head of hair. I ain't going nowhere. But this is strictly just an observation. I don't want anybody to get all upset and out of line. Relax, chill out, man. Chill, just chill. You can make comments about me, and that's okay, right? And that's okay with you, right? But I can't make any comments, right? Only you can make comments, right? Those involved. Only you can make comments. Nah, it doesn't work that way, man. Hi, Frank, this is a show you should have up. It's educational. It is up. I'm talking about it right now. Holy crap on a cracker. Can you see my thumbnail, Mark? Can you see my thumbnail? Or did you see my thumbnail? You know, it's an observation I made, and I didn't really think about it a lot until, somebody sent me these photographs. And I was like, wow, no wonder Biggie has not been on camera. He gained a lot of fucking weight. Oh, that money means a lot of good food, right? Yeah. That money could also kill you, too. It certainly can. Boy, it certainly can. It must suck to be them, really. I may not have as much money as some people, but I'm telling you, trade-off. I'd rather be broke if I was actually broke than to be obese or bald. And neither one of them applies to me. None of them. And I don't even drink either. Wow. Oh, am I sitting high on the horse? Well, I'm not on her right now. Calling her a horse. You only wish you had a horse like her. As I said, if horses looked like her, then give me a stable full. I think I said that pretty well. What do you see on my thumbnail, Mark? Do you see something on my thumbnail? Does it show out on here or just when the show is going on? But you'll see it afterwards, though. But yeah, and there's still another email I have to open up yet. But as soon as I seen this email, I went boom, right on here. I have one more email with some more information about somebody, I don't know. And I haven't read it yet. I can't do two things at once here. I don't have two actual working devices I can switch to. And what do you see in that thumbnail, sir? Tell me, describe that thumbnail. Man, I guess sometimes you gotta have money to get the chicks because I think that's the only way you're going to get them in this world. I don't know with some of these vloggers out here, man. Fuck yeah. I totally understand now. Not like I never did, but I totally understand it now. I see two men taking a selfie together. And do you know who they are? Oh, I was shocked. Well, I always known that Kevin was bald. I always knew that. He should wear a hat or something. I don't know. The boy's going to get sunburned out there if he ever gets out of his apartment. Two dudes, I'm going to address it to you, to two dudes that are in that picture. You have nothing to talk about with me. Nothing. I think that picture speaks for itself, and I don't mean any offense by it. I'm just turning the tables around a little bit here. And you know who the other guy is, Mark? Well, I'll tell you, it's Big E. Yeah, I'm not shitting you, man. I'm not shitting you. Wow. So we got Bummer, bald as a bowling ball. We got Kevin, bald as a bowling ball. And now we got Big E, who's pretty much bald. He has a little tiny alfalfa strip of hair in the middle of his head. That's why he wears a cap all the time. Yes, it is, Mama San, that certainly is. Well, he don't go on camera because, unfortunately for him, and I do mean unfortunate, he gained a lot of weight. He's a big guy. He's huge. He's like 6'8". Now he's got the weight on top of the height, and that's really not healthy. That's not healthy at all. In fact, it's extremely unhealthy. Connection problems. Here we go. Sorry, the connection here. Yeah, that's what I pay for. And look at the service I get here. What is it? SpaceX? What is that called again? Starlink. We got Starlink. It's not that great. Starlink. And yet I get a lot of disconnects with Starlink, and we're paying a fortune for this. I might have to consider something else. I don't know. Yeah, that's Eric, and that's Eric and Big Kevin. Like I said, we're not knocking them. We're doing an honest show here. And I'm trying to understand why so many of these YouTubers are going bald or are bald or look a lot older than they are. I mean, you know, Popeye, well, God, that's obvious. I mean, Don C. looks like about 15 years older than what he is. Why am I the only one that's seen him really holding out on here? Oh, maybe it was the supplements after all, and they laugh about it, Let them laugh. It's doing me good, thank you very much. And I got a full head of fucking hair. I got a full head of fucking hair. He tried to block his face with the selfie. Yeah, in the picture, yeah. Ain't that something, man? I didn't know that because I have not seen him. In fact, he rarely ever goes on camera. It's rare. But I didn't know he weighed that much. I had no idea. And the only thing I can suggest, and very kindly, is that if you want any longevity and don't want a heart attack or anything like that, I'm afraid that the 20,000 steps is just not going to cut the mustard. Oh, mustard, that's food. It's not going to cut the mustard. You have to control the diet along with the exercise, or it just doesn't work. Oh, don't get me wrong, it's good for the heart, cardio. But if you still have that kind of weight on you, it's just not healthy. It's not healthy at all. That's all I'm really saying here. I don't want anybody to get upset, start jumping on me and everything, because I know they will anyway, but I mean very well by this. It's an observation. That's all it really is. And don't worry, I will remove the picture later on. I'll be fair about it. But I know people wouldn't believe me if I told them, and that's why it's on a thumbnail. Yeah, I've got another email from somebody, and I don't know what's on that yet, so I haven't gotten to read it because I'm on the phone right now. I'm on the phone with you guys, cell phone with you guys right now. But I got 2 emails with information on it. And boy, the information is just coming in about these people. I can't believe it. People are really turning sides now, and I'm seeing it because I'm getting very accurate information on people. I'm not even asking for it. I just want to emphasize that. I'm not even asking for it. Yeah, I'm just being honest. That's all I am. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a tiny little, barely a strip of hair on his head. That's why he wears a cap all the time normally. Well, a lot of people going bald, they do that, you know. They don't want to look that old, and I understand. I understand, you know, chemotherapy patients and all that. They have no choice, but it's genetics. It's really genetics, and somebody in the family, probably the father or somebody, and maybe even the mother, I don't know, they can lose their hair. Alopecia happens to a lot of people too. A lot of women get alopecia where they lose their hair, and it's not any particular reason that it happens. Sometimes it's in the family. Yeah, I was pretty shocked because I haven't seen him, because every time he does a show or something, he never puts himself with the family on there. It's always the kids, his wife, his other wife, his other wife. Oh, God, the people on YouTube, man, it's just unfucking believable. Unbelievable. I discovered I'm probably the most sane person on here. Never thought I'd say that. I have my insane moments, but now I'm feeling so much better. I feel so much better now. I feel so much better now. And that's not taking a pill either. I just feel so much better now. Holy shit on a shingle, man. Holy moly, and some guacamole. Check out that thumbnail. I know normally nobody would believe me unless I actually produce some evidence. Well, there it is. There it is. When do they flock together? They all got a lot in common. Barry, bald as hell. Jerry going bald. Big E going bald. Kevin bald. There's another YouTuber, with Dreams, Philippine Dreams. Ned went kind of bald, didn't he? But I like Ned. Oh, and Rich Brong wears a cap all the time. I think he's going bald. And he's also overweight, too. What is this connection? What is this, what the fuck is going on? Mark says, your wellness shows are some of your best content, in my opinion. I try to make it that way. We Filipinos don't like calbo. What does calbo mean, Gilda?
Bald head.
Bald head. So you got to buy the women. So these foreigners with bald heads have to buy women, right? Big obese guys with bald heads, they got to buy their women, right? Well, look at Ricky. He wears a toupee. I didn't put Ricky in there. Guys, you know it's a toupee. I'm sorry, I didn't put Ricky in there. You know it's a toupee. That looks too fake to be hair. I'm sorry. Sorry. If you want to get offended, Ricky, that's fine. That's not real hair. That's not real hair. That can't be. And what do you, shoe polish on it? It looks like a fucking toupee. They're all going bald. They're all getting fat and going bald. I don't know, I'd like to say I'm astounded, but I got to find another word. Maybe perplexed a little bit, the commonality that's going on YouTube here. I don't know how much hair Popeye has left either, though. He won't go on camera these days. We've seen the most recent pictures of him we could. He wasn't looking real good, was he? But I'll tell you, man, why is it me? And I'm probably on a little bit older side from most of these people, except, you know, like Don C. He's all fucking grayed out. Like a gray fox, he's just all grayed out, looking well beyond his age. Why is it that I look so much better than these people? Maybe what I do for myself actually has been working, because I have to tell you, I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've seen what these people look like on here. I'd have to be blind not to see it when they're on camera. And I have the right to make these observations. I have every right in the world. It's my view. Most of them are fat. Obesity, I told you, it struck the world. Obesity struck the cattle of society in a big fucking way. It's kind of scary. Mama-san says, we very suspicious of foreigner wearing hat. We know already they said that they are calbo. Well, I wouldn't look good being bald. I could tell you that. I'd look worse than Telly Savalas, really. I don't have that kind. I'm not like, what's his name on TV? Some bald guys look good. It's their personality. They look like a penis, though. Their head looks like a fucking penis with no hair on there. You know? And look at some of the stars that are bald, right? Even Vinny Barbarino. He's going bald as a motherfucker. He's bald as a motherfucker. Is it in the water? What the hell's going on? I got to knock on wood. Knock his wood. Good luck. Knock on wood that I don't get obese, that I don't lose my hair. Kelbo no good, Mama-san says. Yeah, Mama-san works at one of these well-known bars, and she knows who these people... You know who these people are, don't you? You've seen these characters in the bar, haven't you? So you know who I'm talking about. I mean, you know some of them anyway. Yeah. I don't know, some actors could get by with that, but they can't help it. What are they going to do? They're still famous, they're still rich. They got no hair. That's all. What are you doing against that curtain?
See the
You're looking kind of weird.
lights in the camera.
Oh. Yeah, we got to replace the bulb out front here. Yeah. So you know who they are. Okay, fantastic, Mama-san. You told me you worked in the bar, so you know who these people are, some of them anyway. So you know what I'm talking about. You think that's the best choice of expats you've seen? Or do you think it's a shit poor group of people from what your observation is as a Filipina? Be honest, be really honest. I just watching people make an embarrassment to themselves. Kevin is just embarrassed himself every time he makes a show. Popeye puts on a thing about Memorial Day, but he stops in the middle just to talk about me. Obsession. Oh, there's obsession. There's obesity. There's baldness. There's brashness. There's cockiness. Yeah, Mango area, exactly. I know. I think I know where you work. Yeah. You mentioned that before. I know. You work at one of those well-known bars. Won't give it out. Well-known bars that these guys tend to frequent. But holy shit. I'll be polite. I will take the picture off later, off my thumbnail. And Kevin, you tried to report me using your picture on my profile. Well, they're not going to strike me. They're not going to do nothing. They leave it up to me. I think I'm going to keep it up there a little bit if it's still on there, on that show. If you don't mind. Nice try, but no cigar. Owner will fire me if I say the bar. Don't worry about it, man. You don't have to say a bar. You better, because you have people coming in there looking for you. Bunch of fucking psychopaths out there. It's better you don't say who you are, which bar you work at. Just be cool about it. Be cool about it. It's okay. What do you think about, as a Filipino, what do you think about Ricky's girlfriend? And what do you think is going on with that? I mean, we all know what's going on with that, but what do you think is going on with those two? And why is she with him? Just speak it out loud. I don't know who you are. Nobody knows who you are. He's parading her around over in Boracay. My wife, 10 years. Yeah, well, you wish. He's not husband material to anyone. And as I said, it's really sad if you have to pay for your nightly dates. Like $100 a night he pays for her. I don't know. I like her, actually. I actually like her. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I like her, but, whatever her job is, it is. A girl's got to make a living, right? Yeah. Her and that other one, I forgot her name. She was okay. The one that smoked, not, I like her, she smoked, but she was very social. The one at TGIF that night. Yeah. I liked her kind of. She was very friendly. Apple seems like a really friendly person, but, you know why she's with Ricky, obviously. Doesn't take a fucking brain scientist to figure that out. Look, the way I say it, you could parade a woman around you for eye candy, no matter whatever you want to do. It doesn't mean that you earned a relationship with that person. It means that, they are offering their services as an escort to accompany you so that you're not lonely, and they go out, honest things, have something to drink, something to eat. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But here's what's wrong. When you have to pay for every date because you can't find a woman that would be genuinely interested in you, that's when it becomes a problem and quite embarrassing. To have to pay for your dates. Isn't it better to try to just settle with one woman? But, well, I guess that's what the problem is. Well, these characters can't find a woman like Jay. Jay is balding, too. What do you think Jay wears his hat all the time for? That's another one that I didn't include him. It's a bald club of the world here. Bald and obese. The B and O crowd. The bald and obese crowd. Bald and obese. I tell you what, it just gets better and better. People say, I still got an email from somebody sending me information about something. I haven't gone there yet because I'm too busy talking to you wonderful people out here because you're special on my show. Always. My viewers are special. And yes, Gilda does listen to all these shows. She's listening to me doing a show right now, just to let you know, Kevin, or no, Jay, I think he was talking about something, that my girlfriend does not listen to these shows. He goes, I guarantee you 100% that she doesn't listen to these shows, that she don't know what's going on here. She knows everything going on here. When I'm doing a show, she's listening to it. When I'm listening to a show, she's listening to it. She knows all of it. She knows exactly what's going on here. Exactly. Mama-san says, true, Sir Frank. We know when foreigner wear hat to our bar, that is kalbo. Yep. I rarely wear a hat. Sometimes if it's a really hot day. Because let me tell you something about a hat. It's my theory. I don't know if I read any literature on this, but everyone I ever knew through my life that wore a hat. Now, it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? And what I mean by that is, are they wearing a cap because they're bald, or did the cap cause the baldness? And you know why I say that? I'll tell you why. Less oxygen, less sunlight. It affects the roots. They lose their hair. Because most people who have the practice of wearing baseball type caps, these kind of caps are very popular. I have several of them. You lose your hair. I'm definite about that. It's theoretical, really, but I think it's fact. I mean, so it's kind of what came first, the chicken or the egg. Were they bald, and that's why they're covering their head? Or is it because that, well, the cap made them bald? Okay, you ever see where people are balding in the middle? They got a big giant circle, but yet they have hair around the rest of their head. It looks odd. It looks odd. Like the St. Anthony saint, where he's got a big bald thing in the middle on the St. Anthony saint. My father used to follow St. Anthony. We always had that saint, and he had this big bald spot right in the middle. I've got a big, huge bald spot. It makes my theory kind of true, because if you're wearing a cap all the time, it's not covering the side of your hair, is it? No, it's not. You're getting sunlight, and you're getting more oxygen to your skin, to the to the surface of the skin, and to your roots. Wow, that's a great theory. I might be right. Yeah, I might actually be right about it. I made a revelation here on tonight's show. I think that's true. Now that I think back at all the people I met that wore a cap, they were all going bald. They're trying to hide their baldness. But the key $60,000 question is, was it the hat that was causing the baldness? How interesting is that? Wow, I'm a genius, or a genii. I'm a goddamn genius.
Opaw.
Kapow? Get off.
Kalbo.
Calbo. Calbo.
Opaw.
Opaw? Calbo opaw. What does opaw mean?
Bald.
That means bald too? Calbo and opal.
Opaw is
Opal.
Bisaya.
Opal is bald too?
Yeah.
2 words we learned. So look, you come on my show. My God, you learn stuff. You learn stuff. God, it sucks to be them.
Kids say.
They just coming back?
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
There.
They went out? I didn't even know they went out. The boys went out, the boys. Yeah, we got a few members of the family here. Yeah, we certainly do. Shut the screen. They're gonna, that's where they're gonna park the trike. We don't want to see them look that beautiful naked body. No, she's not really naked. You only wish, pals.
Okay.
God, this week we have learned so much. I'm probably the most educational channel here in the Philippines genre.
Huh? No.
Am I not? I mean, look at that thumbnail. Jesus Christ. Somebody took a pump to Big Ego and just... You're just looking at me. Pump. Stop. Stop, as Jay said. Stop it. Stop it. Jay said, stop it. Stop it. I'm killing myself. I'm killing it. I know you'd like me to. But I got a million of them, but I can't do them all tonight, okay? Someone's giving me the smiley face on there and a button. There we go. Always a great shoe when I come on. Always a great shoe. Oh my, I really don't have to say anything because people are doing it for me. They're doing it for me. They're sending me all this information. My God. Jay says, stop. Stop. I can't take it anymore. Stop. Stop. Well, I guess I'll stop here because I got to wind down for the night with my sweetie, my honey pie. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not paying nothing for her to be with me. No fee for the night. I don't have to pay for shit, man. That's the beauty of everything. I get the woman I want. Everything works out real fine. Great relationship. 9.5 years now, I guess it's been. Boy, time is flying by. Somewhere around there, anyway. It's all good, folks. It's all good. Kevin, maybe buy yourself a wig. Something. All that money you make on YouTube. Buy yourself a wig. Get a new image. Can you see Big E and Kevin and Barry and Jay and who else? All hanging out together without wearing their hats. The Bald Club of America, BOA, BOA. The Bald, well, no, it's BCOA, Bald Club of America, BCOA, BCOA Club. Hey, look, guys, listen, take a deep breath. I'm not attacking you guys. I just want you to know that. I'm making an observation. And why? Because I could. Because you make your own observations. Apparently, you have plenty to say about me all the time, but it really bothers you when I talk back. When I put a mirror in front of your faces, it bothers you, don't it? Oh, it just irritates the shit out of you. But, hey, come on. All of you guys that I mentioned on here, fair is fair is fair. If you could talk about me, I could talk about you. Isn't that fair? Touche. I say touche. And I say good night. Great show. Big shoe. Really big shoe.